ride on the track.
Like a throw modern, hey, hey, Blakberry talk. Yeah, we up, no, we locked in. ATL, we run the game, check the top 10. Braves swinging, Hawks fly, Falcons run it back. Every play, every take, yeah, we speaking facts. City behind me, we never gon' fall off. Talking that smoke, got to play like a call off. Falcons in motion, they running that route. Austin transition, we running them out. Rings in the post, yeah, they swinging for real. If you ain't tapped in, then you miss a field. Blakberry got them tuned in on the daily. Everything real, we ain't talking fugazi. Numbers on live, check stats, it's amazing. We calling plays like we work for the Navy. Blakberry talk, yeah, we up, no, we locked in. ATL, we run the game, check the top 10. Braves swinging, Hawks fly, Falcons run it back. Every play, every take, yeah, we speaking facts. Like, I've been on top of the wave. We talk sports like you part of the game. Know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta explain. I'm in the booth and I'm calling the plays. Never no bias, we talking about wins. Blakberry popping, they tuning again. Straight from the A, so you know what it is. If it's a tape, let me stand on it big. Falcons need rings, we know that it's coming. Hawks on the rise, you know how they willin'. Braves in the home, we popping the bottles. ATL up, yeah, we eating the column. Blakberry talk, yeah, we up, yo, we locked in. ATL, we run the game, check the top 10. Braves swinging, Hawks fly, Falcons run it back. Every play, every take, yeah, we speaking facts.
Home team. What's happening, home team? It's your boy Blakberry Lorex coming to let you know about the summer giveaway that we're having with the home team with Blakberry. That's Blakberry, no C, just the K. If you want to be a part of this giveaway, have a chance to win some free stuff, you got to go to Instagram and subscribe to Blakberry Lorex on Instagram and enter the raffle for your chance to win.
Star slip bought the South. Watch a tone Mercedes Benz lit. This the South is strong. UJ Kings back to back like a boss 7. Try to run it, but the dog's too strong. Hard hitting bars like a Grady blitz. Every fact straight fire, every line gon' hit. ATL made me this city's my heart. Step up, talk sports to get torn apart. Home team.
Yeah.
Home team. Bears got that chop to the chip with a flex. Hawks in the cut, ice cold like a tag. A-Town legend, I debate with the best. Come weak with the text, get laid to rest. Home team.
Home team. What's happening?
Home team.
Hey, y'all know what we do on Fan Speak. We drop that motherfucking link. And your boy Blakberry ain't in no goddamn mood for no pleasantries today. So I got the damn link already pinned in the chat. I got it pinned in the chat already. Because this conversation gonna get a little zesty. You hear me? The conversation gonna get real interesting today. Y'all better bring your asses on in. Hit that share button and share this out so we can get the party rolling.
Speak about the cell, what you tone. Mercedes Benz lit, this the Falcons throne. You gay games, back to bad like a boss. Sub bun, try to run it, but the dog's too strong. Hard hitting bars like a Grady blitz. Every fast straight fire, every line gon' hit. ATM made me, this city's my heart. Step up, talk sports so you're torn apart. Hold
team.
Yes, sir. Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons love-hate saga. It continues on, and we knew a day like today was going to come because we knew that Kirk Cousins was going to be a part of that season 2 of The Quarterback or whatever the fuck that shit called on Netflix. I myself, I have not seen the episode yet, but I've seen the reports on some of the quotes they got on Kirk Cousins from that show. The link is dropped in the chat already. It's pinned in the link. The link is pinned in the chat already. Tap the motherfucking link. Bring your motherfucking asses on in, and let's talk about this shit. Kirk Cousins, once again, the topic of discussion. I would ask why, but that'd be a stupid ass question. I would ask why, but that's gonna be a stupid ass question. I gotta keep something playing in the background because I don't be knowing what in the fuck. My this headset, I need a new one. And every time I get home, I forget to order me another. So just to make sure that shit going right, we're gonna keep that one playing in the background so I can know we good at all times. Look, man, y'all hit that motherfucking link, man. Y'all come on in. Let's see who we got in here. Let's see who we got up in here, man. We got A137 Sauce in the house. What's up with you, A137 Sauce? Got Jonte Rozier in the house. What's up with you, Jonte Rozier? We got Xavier Littman in the building. See, the headset on that bullshit. The headset on that bullshit. And yes, that is rain. If you can hear it, that rain. What's up with you, Xavier Littman? Jonte Rozier? D. Sloan? What's up with you, D. Sloan? He in the house. One of the Lady Birds of AFN is in the house. Christy Lewis, my homegirl, is in the building. What's up with you, Christy Lewis? Holding it down for M.I. Cricket letter I. Cricket letter I. Hump that I. Yeah. Holding it down for my girl. Yeah. She holding it down for them M.I. cricket letters. Them M.I. cricket letter Falcon fans. We got 3 Duddy in the house, one of the OGs in the game. Look at this shit on that bullshit. This shit on that bullshit. I might just take this. I might just disconnect this fucking headset. I might just disconnect this motherfucking shit. We got Larry in the building. What's up with you, Larry? He said, what it do, home team? We got Vincent Moe in the house. What's up with you, Vincent? Old Chicken Hauler. Long time no see you, my guy. He said it ain't the pickup. It's the big truck. It's the big truck. He said it ain't the pickup. It's the big truck. That's what the old Chicken Hauler say. What's up with your old Chicken Hauler? All right. Chris say she silk dirty. Yes, ma'am. She silk dirty. All right, y'all. I'm coming up out this goddamn headset because I ain't got time to deal with this shit. I'm just gonna have to focus real hard on what the fuck y'all saying when y'all tap that link. I'm coming up out the headset. This some bullshit. Shit, that ain't gonna try to get the sound at all, is you fucking piece of fucking shit. Y'all hold on real quick. Get these Get this audio right. Get this audio right. Y'all hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad y'all can hear me then. I need to be able to hear too, though. Song playing, I can't hear the song. I know something ain't right. Y'all tap that link. I'm coming right back in. All right. That's what it like to be on the block. What it like to be on that block. Hey, man, y'all hit that link, man. But while I'm waiting on y'all to tap that link, we're gonna let old chicken hauler start it off. He say, misled or not, cousin was the plan for last now. Was the plan for last year. Now he is the insurance plan. It's a business. And I'm so glad that the first comment on this topic is the one that makes the most sense out of what I'm here, or what a lot of what I'm seeing between the fan base and the media. That started raining at this motherfucker. I'm so glad that the first comment on this shit is one that makes sense. Misled or not, put it back up there. Old Chicken Hall say misled or not, cousin was the plan for last year. Now he's the insurance plans. The insurance plan, it's a business. And what I'm gonna add to that is somewhere around the time, of Julio Jones being upset about Dan Quinn getting fired and wanting to have a conversation with Arthur Blank about Dan Quinn being fired, Arthur Blank and the rest of the Falcons organization decided when it comes to your feelings, we tired of giving a fuck. When it comes to how you feel about your contract, when it comes to how you feel about our communication with you, about your future in Atlanta, or about a teammate's future in Atlanta, we're done giving a fuck. When it comes to your 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 feelings and how you think this should be this way or that way, or if you were misled by something, the Falcons have been done with giving a fuck since somewhere around about that time. Ooh, we on that block, I swear. Woo, they've been done with giving a fuck for quite some time. And I'm gonna read some of what y'all comments is on this because I'm real curious since y'all ain't tapping the link yet. Christian Lewis say the media is putting this out there as if it's news. Thank you. So, oh my God. Wait a minute. I'm gonna touch on that too. This season's Netflix show was recorded during last season. Bingo. Not this year. I am sure he feels the same, but the media is pushing this. Exactamundo. Christian Lewis hit it right on the damn head. This ain't news to us, Falcon fans. It's not news to us. And I understand that it's the off season. You got to have something to talk about because ain't no football being played. Ain't nobody in training camp. Ain't nobody, nobody's at a Falcon facility right now putting on pads, working on scheme, working on plays, working on chemistry. Nobody's doing anything right now in Flowery Branch. Ain't no games being played. The UFL, I mean, I don't know if that's going on or not, to be honest. But hell, uh I was watching yesterday. Or was that this morning? This morning, I was watching Team RG3 versus Team Cam Newton of some little middle school kids playing two-hand touch, not even two-hand touch, just playing touch football. I was watching that this morning because I just want to see some football. And might I add, Cam Newton got a kid on at quarterback that he found that he think gonna be just like him. But the boy is pretty good. RG3 got a ball on his team, got a quarterback on his team too that's pretty damn good. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check out the 7-on-7. I think it's 7-on-7. Go check out the 7-on-7 league with RG3 and Cam Newton. Is part of it. They got a couple teams on there that they coach. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. It's interesting. Them little young dudes, they actually be getting after it out there, man. A lot of them little young dudes is gonna be the future of the NFL. A lot of them are. All right, then, old chicken holler, man. Take it easy. Chris to say, but in the real Flurex mode, what if this is what the Falcons want? The NFL already predicted us at 6-7 wins. Let us fly under the radar. Boy, I swear, Krista, she be paying attention. See, Krista pays attention. So she knows already, well, I'm going to go with this eventually. Kristen Lewis, my home girl, down there in my cricket letter. My home girl down there in my cricket letter. She already know I'm going to go with this later. But this one I'm going to stay with it for now. Because I don't know why, as a fan base, we want to, and I know why. I know some of the reason why. It's not the biggest reason why, but I know some of the reason why. And I'm going to get to some of that reason. But this fan base wants so bad to have something to bitch and complain about. We want something so bad or some drama to hang on to. And I don't know if it's the reality, social reality, or streaming era that we're in right now, where everything is drama led and comic led, and then when it gets to time to really goddamn have to break some shit down and with some true dialect and have to really get into the meat and potato of the reasoning of things, understanding why something is, breaking it down to the bare root of it all. When it get time to do that, nobody wants to listen because we just want to be mad. We don't want to find solutions. We don't want solutions to have been found already. We want to be mad and we want to question every little fucking thing. So, as a fan base, this is what the Atlanta fan base has been subjected to over the years. Not our fault. It's not our fault. It's the drama that's always surrounded this damn team. That's what it is. It's the drama that's always surrounded. We knew this was coming. We knew this was coming with Kirk Cousins because we knew he was going to be in season 2 of that motherfucking show.
like Christy Lewis said, the show was recorded months ago. Months ago. During the 2024 season. It was being recorded. And then I don't know why when it is reported after the first episode is released, which I haven't seen yet, I just seen reports. I've just read the reports on the quotes of Kirk Cousins saying that he did kind of feel like he was a little bit misleading, and that if he would have thought in the conversations, if he would have thought that in the conversations of the the deal to come to Atlanta, that he probably would have it would have made a big it would have changed the so to speak his decision making, on coming to Atlanta because he liked it in Minnesota, and if Minnesota was drafting the quarterback, Falcons were drafting the quarterback. He said then it would have changed his decision making process. Now, I got Will Mamie in the back. Bring in Will Mamie. What's up with you, Will?
What's going on? Here we go with this question with Kirk Cousins, man. My thing with this, I think Kirk Cousins just upset that he know his time is up in Atlanta. He has to take a backup role, and no other 31 teams want him because what he did last year. Uh, Obviously, what the situation happened was Kirk, you was hurt. Even though I'm holding Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, the coaching staff, they knew Kirk Cousins was hurt when we played against that New Orleans game. I think it was in week 12 or something, going to week 13. They knew about it. But what I'm saying is, I feel like it's going to be distraction if Kirk Cousins can't play in the preseason. If I say any bad body language when we in training camp, just go ahead and get rid of him or cut his contract and eat that dead cap, man. Because I know we got to pay Drake London and them, but at this point I'm done with Kirk Cousins. I don't care if he with us or not. It's just a distraction. He need to go. He need to go to a different team somewhere, but not with Atlanta.
But you been done with him though, right?
Yeah, I've been done with him ever
Yeah, you
since
been
ever.
done. It ain't just because of just recently. You been done with him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you got paid 3 times. You was with Washington. You got your money in Minnesota. That's the reason why Minnesota didn't sign you because you want to be greedy. They already was worried about the future. Now in the NFL, it's not a pocket quarterback pass no more. It's about scrambling. You go run on scramble passes now. The NFL it's just changed now. It's not a pocket present quarterback anymore. You know Tom Brady's no only pocket pass you still got is probably what Dak Prescott and what's the other dude name? Who a pocket passer still in the NFL? Who playing? Aaron Rodgers. That's it. But the rest of like Josh Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, they mobile quarterbacks now. Even Bo Nixon's a mobile quarterback, and Michael Penix is too. Cause a lot of people don't know Michael Penix could scramble too. So a lot of teams don't know that he's not a pocket. He's a pocket passer, but he can run at the quarterback if he want to. I just feel like he jealous because Michael Penix is a franchise of this organization right now.
So let me ask you a question, Will.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that some of the Kirk Cousins drama, do you think it's a distraction from the team?
I
And
s-
when I ask you that, I answer as if you were answering from a locker room aspect and from a league aspect.
I say absolutely. Because you know why? This team's trying to get over the hump. Like I see how Michael Penix is very mature, and that dude was practiced with all his wide receivers, and I think Kirk Cousins is jealous because he's want to give Michael Penix the pros and the cons, but Michael Penix already gravitated to the team. Like even the offensive line speaking highly of Michael Penix, you could tell because Michael Penix been playing in the league for 5 years in college. I feel like he won. A lot of people sleeping on Michael Penix this year. I think we're gonna be a 12-5 team, or might be 12-3, because I'm just trying to figure out why the media keeps thinking that Carolina Panthers are going to be better than the rest of our opponents in the NFC South. Like that's not happening. And I don't want to talk about the division, but as a quarterback with Kirk Cousins just mad that he's not the same quarterback he was 12 years ago. This dude only won one playoffs. Even Shannon Sharp said this, and that was like when they was playing against Minnesota, I think against the Giants. They lost against the Giants in the wild card. That was in 2020. That was 5 years ago. So Kirk Cousins, you got your money. Just shut up and just ride the bench. Now, if you're not going to take the backup position role, just go ahead and retire and let me take the money off the books and resign our rookies. And I save our cap space for who we need for next year. Because really, right now, I don't think Kirk Cousins should be with this team because there's going to be a lot of confusion. Raheem not going to be putting up with it. Jeff Arber's not going to be put up with it. None of these leaders on this defense not going to put up with it. Or none of these leaders on the offense not going to put up with it. So I just feel like my best thing for them, they need to go ahead after preseason over with or training camp, they need to go ahead and cut Kirk Cousins or just tell him he need to retire respectfully. Because there's no point in keeping him if he complaining about they draft for a rookie before the draft. I didn't know that. You should have just kept him out shut and just like, hey, it is what it is. I enjoyed my time
But
and
that's
what
old. But that's old news though. Wiz.
yeah, but he keep talking about
Ain't been no new reports of him saying nothing. This from before. This from this from months and months back.
but I understand that. See, on Blackberry, he keeps saying that he was kind of hurt that they had drafted Michael Penix, but Kirk Cousins, you got to think about it. every year, every year a quarterback they need a quarterback on every franchise. Like not you might not see every quarterback go every year, but next year draft there's gonna be a lot of good defensive talent coming out. I'm not gonna speak about 2026 draft. I'm just saying a prime example. They was already gonna replace you because they knew they got tired of Marcus Mariota and they got tired of who else quarterback Desmond Ritter. They had to draft a quarterback. They had to. So I'm not mad with Terry Fontenot did. Terry Fontenot and I got all the pieces. It's just up to Raheem Morris to see if he's gonna make a game adjustments and is going to be communicate with his players and call timeouts on critical conditions. I just need Raheem Morris to just do game management to make sure that we step on teams' neck and don't take our foot off the gas.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you know what the intention to do in the draft was in 2023? And I mean in 2024 draft? Do you know what they intended to do in the first round?
Yes, I think my intention was, even though I was kind of upset that we drafted Michael Penix, but at the same time I was kind of happy because I was afraid like why we draft a quarterback and we got Kirk Cousins. But I said to myself, I remember when I was looking at the college when I was in the hospital 2 years ago, I said I want a Michael Penix or Jason McCarthy. I remember I was saying this with Smith and them, the rest of the channel on AFN. I told them I want Michael Penix or Jason McCarthy. That was the two picks I wanted at the NFL draft. I didn't want Bo Nix. I don't think Bo Nix fit the scheme what the Falcons do. But with that being said, is I already knew that Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot was thinking about the future, getting a quarterback because 2024 draft class was good. You had Jane Daniels went to the Commanders. You had Drake May went to the Patriots. You had Bo Nix went to the Denver Broncos. Only person that didn't play last year was Jason McCarthy because he got hurt, and Michael Penix because Kirk Cousins was there. All the rest of the quarterbacks in that draft class played that 2024. And who had the best rookie offense was Jane Daniels. I gotta get that man's credit. Jane Daniels he played his ass off. But what I'm saying for this year, sophomore year, I think that Michael Penix Jr. might have a better overall than the rest of the quarterbacks that it was in last year's draft because he didn't play because he was just baby handicapped because of Kirk Cousins. And I feel like Raheem Morris already seen enough last year. That's why they didn't. That's why they ain't had training camp last year for the public because they knew that if Michael Penix came in, Kirk Cousins would get that job back. So I feel like they knew what they was doing last year.
Do you do you think they would have drafted a quarterback at all if they wouldn't have drafted Michael Penix? Do you think they would have
Well,
drafted a quarterback at any point in that draft?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think in my heart they would go draft a quarterback. We didn't get Michael Penix. They were gonna get him. Even though Jane Daniels gone, you had Michael Penix was on the board. You had I don't think the Falcons were gonna get another quarterback outside of Michael Penix because they wanted because the Falcons wanted Jane Daniels. It just we didn't have that capital. They didn't Commanders didn't want to trade back because they set in that spot with who they wanted. So last year draft class, you seen, and they said that was the first time that they seen three, four, five quarterbacks going in first round picks. This year, draft class quarterbacks suck this year because none of the quarterbacks not need. I'm not even trying to speak negative about any quarterbacks that came out this year draft. Only quarterback I say who's starting right now is probably Dion's son. That's probably about it. And that boy Darts out of Ole Miss. That's probably two quarterbacks out that draft class starting this year. And the rest of the quarterbacks they backups. But respectfully, I thought the Falcons were gonna get a quarterback regardless. I just feel like I wish we should have got Kirk Cousins in free agency. We should have just built that defense, like add more free agency pieces, like linebacker depth, safety depth, like you know what I'm saying, defensive tackle, center. That we should have spent our money in free agency because I would feel like that was a waste of money that we did, and that was on Arthur Blank. I gotta take the responsibility. That's on our own because he getting impatient for us losing back to back. But I just feel like Arthur Blank should have took his time and Raheem Moore. I mean Terry Fontenot should have took his time and got more experience on both sides of the ball, defense and offense coordinators. But hey, this is a new year. I feel like Zach Robinson, he need to change up his playbook a little bit more better and be more creative in the play action because and our play action, we wasn't that good. We were like 17. I think we only did 1.7 in play action. I think that's like one bag. But I just think we need to run the ball more efficiently. And I think we need to just get the ball to Darnell Mooney, Drake London. Everybody should get involved on this offense. It's no one person. So like I know Bijan Robinson got him he gonna try to go for 2,000 yards, but we don't need to have to work horse on Bijan Robinson like that. We need him use that in the playoffs in around late December. But if we stay healthy, man, that the sky's the limit for this team, man. But I do see us in the NFC Championship game this year, or in the NFC Championship spot, closer to a Super Bowl. But it all depends on the coaching staff and the players. So that's my take.
Okay. I apologize for if I got any background noise, y'all, because I ain't got my headset. I can't use the headset. The headset on that bullseye.
No, you good, you good. But at the point, I just feel like they need to just go ahead and dunk Kirk Cousins and just go ahead pay Billy Bowman Jr., pay Xavier Watts because I don't think that's the two players on our roster didn't get their contract
Well,
yet.
check this out. So Dante Rose just said he think they would have took Bo Nix if Penix was off the board, but they actually have a, a report July July 10th, 2024. All right, the Athletic did an article. I can't remember. I would go. I thought I had saved the I thought I had saved it somewhere on one of my screens here, but I must have went off of it. But if you go look at a report from the Athletic on July 10th, Arthur Blank was asked these questions almost no a full year ago from today. He was asked these questions on whether or not, or basically just on the decision to draft Michael Penix Jr. Okay, and also on whether or not if it was communicated with him or someone on the coaching staff or in management to Kirk Cousins prior to him signing with the Falcons. And Arthur Blank said, these are Arthur Blank's words, that it was communicated clearly with Kirk Cousins that they did intend on drafting a quarterback in the 2024 draft, but later in the draft, not in the first round. He said it himself that they did tell Kirk Cousins clearly. His word was clearly that they intended on drafting a quarterback in 2024.
later in the draft. So, and I talked about this a week ago. The pivot to draft Michael Penix happened in real time during the draft. And Arthur Blank is on record for saying that he was closely involved in the draft process. But the final decisions on who to draft were up to the personnel staffing and the coaching staff. That's who had the last say so on who they drafted. Now, it's a reason why he wanted to fly the entire staff to Washington the weekend before the draft to watch Michael Penix work out. Because he's encouraging that we do not want to have a quarterback issue like we've had the past handful of seasons. He's on record for saying that. So if he's on record for saying that, then the surprise for Kirk Cousins is all on his lack of doing his homework.
But that also go to people not listening to what they said. He already Raheem stated at least 3-4 times when he got here, we gotta have a succession at quarterback. So just us signing Kirk wasn't gonna be the end all be all. We still was gonna have to get a succession at quarterback because we think about it. How many quarterbacks literally play more than 2 years after an Achilles injury? So they was looking at it like we might only got 2 years out of Kirk Cousins. Let's go get us one of these top four quarterbacks that keep us out of the Shadur Sanders sweepstakes. And I don't think they wanted Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy or Spencer Rattler. So if we didn't get Jaden McDaniels or Michael Penix, there could be a possibility that Shadur Sanders or somebody like Malik Willis or somebody could have been a quarterback for the Falcons.
He said straight up that we clearly communicated with Kirk Cousins that we intend to draft a quarterback and later in that draft. So Kirk Cousins had an understanding that from talks during contract negotiations that they are going to draft a quarterback who they want to develop, who Arthur Smith said, who we're going to try and develop throughout that process, throughout the development process under Kirk Cousins. But this is what I said this earlier before most of y'all came on. Somewhere around that time of Julio Jones being upset about Dan Quinn getting fired and wanting to have a conversation with Arthur Blank about that, somewhere between now and that time, that's about when Arthur Blank and the rest of the organization decided that we done giving a fuck about your feelings about a contract, about your feelings about coaches, players that you're playing with. They don't give a fuck about that shit no more with these players. It's about what's best for the team. So just like he said just like he told the Athletic back in July in 2024, when he said, based off of how highly graded Michael Penix Jr. was by the coaching staff, and seeing that he was there, much like Terry Fontenot said, it was not any way at all we were not going to take Michael Penix Jr. if he was sitting there at 8. It wasn't no way they weren't going to take him. So we hearing that from ownership. We done heard it from front office. We done heard it from management and coaching. Now we've heard that from every hierarchy in the Falcons organization. So when we hear something that we already knew, that Kirk Cousins felt misled by the Falcons for drafting Michael Penix, we knew that already. And the fact that he's saying it on this TV show that was recorded many months ago, all it does is open back up the drama floodgates for
I
something
was
that we
just gonna
already
say
knew.
this.
I was just finna say that shit, man. That's all this shit just did, bro. For Drum to keep going back on again. Because I feel like this, like I feel like why the hell did just so more of a vocal point right now, and this shit was already talked about and nipped in the bud months ago.
The uh the fact of the matter is they know that this is going to get a rise out of the fan base. They know it's going to be some for content creators to talk about because that's pretty much the driving force right now for getting your fan content. They know that that's going to do that. They know other media outlets going to latch on to it, and they know that the fan base is going to latch on to it. But see, this the thing. That this is why it's not going to work, and this is what Christy Lewis hinted at earlier when she explained when she asked the question rather, is this what the Falcons want? She pointed out that they've already put out a list of a tier list of who they think gonna finish in what win-loss brackets. They got us finishing 6 to 7 wins. Okay, so now, so just when we thought the dial was turning up for the Falcons in the media and in the football community, meaning they're supporting what the Falcons are doing. They're supporting what the Falcons might bring to the table. They see the potential. They turn the dial back, just like we expected them to do. They turn it back so that they can really let us know how they really feel about the Atlanta Falcons, just like they do with the Atlanta Hawks, just like they do with the Braves, just like they do with the Bulldogs. We will never be enough. We will never have enough for them to fully get behind the Atlanta Falcons. That's just that's the reality of things. So now because they turning the dial back, now they resurfacing the same drama that we done already covered. But there are unintentional allies in this attempt to try to bring us, so to speak, back to earth as a fan base. There are unintentional allies because we have fans that are going to go off the deep end as if this is something that's just so fucking damn mind blowing. Why would Kirk Cousins say this? Why is Kirk Cousins being allowed to stay on the team and he's saying things like this? We done covered this already. This already been handled. As an organization, it's already been handled. As a fan base, it's already been looked over and gotten over. We are past it.
Man,
We're past it.
I just feel like it's just a
But
distraction, man.
they
At the
know
end of the day,
it's gonna be content creators.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be content creators who already got an agenda for you to dislike certain people on the organization. Or it's already content creators that have gone on record for saying that this is Kirk Cousins is poisoning this team, or Kirk Cousins is bad for the team, or he's a locker room distraction. He's locker room poison. Or you got some of them still trying to put Terry Fontenot name in the goddamn hat. But why would Terry Fontenot continue to allow Kirk Cousins to be here? Why he ain't did something about the Kirk Cousins situation? And of course, it's always the Raheem Morris angle. Raheem Morris did. If Raheem Morris don't allow Kirk Cousins to continue to play, knowing he's hurt, we're not in this situation right now. All of this bullshit that we done covered months and months ago. They know that it's gonna be people that's gonna use this as a distraction from what's really going on with our organization, which is that we are building a dynasty over here. It's what we're building.
This offense is next level. We just needed the defense to, if you can't catch up with the offense, you need to at least be able to complement the offense. What y'all got on that?
All I'm gonna say is I'm just ready for the season, and we're gonna shock a lot of people this year. And I'm just ready because we're gonna shock a lot of people this year. Like I want the team to go to a Super Bowl, to be honest, and win it all because this organization I went through a lot, the ups and downs and trials and tribulations. So I'm just ready to see what the players gonna bring. And through training camp, when I will be there, hopefully around August. I catch the little training camp. And I'm just ready for the season, see how far Michael Penix and the rest of the defense respond to the negativity through the media and to just teams, period. I'm just ready for the season. I ain't really on this Kirk Cousins situation no more. It is what it is. For all I care, he could just retire and get that cap space money off his books. I'm just ready for the season though. That's all I got to say.
Hey man, I just want to say this, man. I'm ready to see some good football. I'm ready to see some good offensive play, some good defensive play, and I want to see just how this team just constructed overall, man. I want to see how the coaching staff got the players coming on the field and balling out.
My bad, y'all. I'm trying to see if I can use this headset. The damn sound quality fucking sucks. Oh boy, that just how it is being out here on the block, man. This what I did the bullshit I got to deal with. Bro. Let me get an
Can't
audio
believe it.
check. Y'all hear me?
Yo, I just can't
All
believe
right.
these people keep. I can't believe people keep some up Carolina Panthers so much. I'm like, bro, what did they do last year? Like, I don't understand why the media keep hyping them up. Now, when they get blown out by other teams, then I want them to keep that same energy.
I just don't respect how like with all the list that just dropped, and when it came to like Falcon players or just the Falcon team, like it was no respect there. Period. It was no respect. Period.
Like they think we care about the NFL top 100. The reason why they did, they tried Jesse Bates, talking about he was a 92 because he's the best safety in the league. He better than to me. He better than Kyle Hamilton. It's just they did that because we missed the playoffs. That's the same thing with Drake London. We missed the playoffs. So I don't really care about the NFL top 100. As long as we get the Super Bowl for all these teams like Detroit Lions, Patriots. As long as we get a ring before them teams in Carolina, I'm good. But we this the time
Well,
we got to get it.
who they put over? Who was the next say? Have they released the other team yet?
No, they probably like Kyle Hamilton probably like in the 30s and 20s. I'm just going by what the peers is, the rest of the NFL players who do the top NFL 100. It's just the NFL top 100 is just bull crap because at the end of the day, they just doing it for views and likes, the people who they like in the NFL, and they go by stats. But
And see, that's the thing. Like that's like I know that the list is about more like popularity and how players view you and shit like that. So I feel like I guess that's why they got Jesse Bates at what fucking 92 as the safety. Like that's crazy.
Well,
And that's,
I'm gonna be fair about this. And it's gonna be an unpopular take, but Jesse Bates did have an off season last season. He was a lot. He didn't play up to the Jesse Bates standard. Now a lot of that ain't his fault. A lot of that is
it's his
coaching.
fault. Yeah, it's his fault, man. It,
A
they
lot,
they had they had Jesse
a lot
Bates out
of
of
it his fault,
position.
but not a lot of it not his fault too. Go ahead, Will.
I was saying it was on the coaching side. Jimmy Lake had Jesse Bates roam around the whole field. He had Justin Simmons. That's why you had Justin Simmons because Jesse Simmons supposed to be playing free safety, and Jesse Bates supposed to be playing strong safety.
Well,
It's
this
just
not
Justin Simmons didn't
it,
have the speed.
the idea that the idea around the scheme for the coverage was that Jesse and Justin would be able to alternate in the scheme, so that they wouldn't
Hmm.
know if it was so that teams wouldn't know if it was Justin that was going wrong or if it was Jesse that was going wrong. But if y'all go back and look, it was a point of the season, probably like I'm gonna say shit,
Week
probably around
12.
like week 12.
Hmm.
It was a point in the season where the coverage scheme tanked, where you saw Jesse and Justin, you saw Jesse and Justin playing more of a cover two, a traditional cover two, free and strong combo. You saw more of the traditional cover two, free and strong combo with Justin and Jesse. So why they changed that? It was probably because they wanted to change the pass rush scheme, which they did. And when we saw that happen, we saw a drop in production in the coverage. We started seeing busted coverages. We started seeing uh we started seeing guys get beat a lot on the inside, which it wasn't
Nickel.
happening a whole lot in the first quarter of the season.
And see, that's why I said this year on our depth, we got so much pieces on our secondary and our front seven. It should be not gonna be no problem because you got Diablo. He can be playing in the middle of the field. We can use Ellison in pass rush situations like you drop him down and on the edge side, instead of him having coverage. Now the nickel spot, you got D Alfred. We know D Alfred not going to be the starter. It's either Clark Phillips or Billy Bowman. But I had Billy Bowman because Billy Bowman has a free safety mindset. The ball hawk. He like playing in the middle of the field. He like the general receivers on the line. So I can see him in the slot. Yeah, and that's strong safety. To be honest with you, I don't think Jordan Fuller's going to win because he had too many injuries. And then when I see him see his highlights against Carolina, he missed a lot of tackles that he don't wrap up real good. So I'm gonna get taken off. Is either DeMarco Hellams or Xavier Watts gonna be better for that strong safety spot. But I do see to my side, I might see. I think I give DeMarco Hellams that because DeMarco was out for a whole year. He's had to learn the playbook. And you might see Xavier Watts on certain third down situations. They'll rotate out of DeMarco Hellams and Xavier Watts. But I just see DeMarco might win that position because he know the playbook and he been trying to get his body up in shape. Or it might be Xavier Watts. It's either one of them two
Well,
gonna win that safety spot.
I'm gonna be
let's try to
honest.
stay. let's try to stay. Let's try to stay on topic here a little bit, William, because I'm gonna dig your brain on something. I'm gonna try to pick your brain on some things here. Okay, if because what I'm really trying to get an understanding with the fan base is what do we really want, right? Do we want to hang on to drama, or do we
Nah,
want to, or do we want to focus on what's ahead of us and what's possibly ahead of us? Okay, because and listening to you, William, I can see that most of your focus is on what we are going to bring to the table in 2025
it's just the
and
regular
how that's
people.
going to help us. Say it again.
And because it's just the sports analysts and the media people keep bringing it. But what about Kirk Cousins?
I
Okay,
think it,
that's
but
them.
I'm gonna be not to cut y'all boys off, but I really think it's about how the season went with Kirk, bro, and what transpired in sequences of what happened. It really is not about like what the media talking about, bro. The fan base really is upset that Kirk didn't just take an injury sit down and let MP9 come in for them couple of games. And by what came out today when he said that he didn't want to sit down because of he knew that MP9 could take the job, it flared everybody back up. Like, we knew this the reason why you did not want to sit down. But then realizing that we were 6-3 when you got injured, knowing, bro, we was gonna get there. You just needed to take a little rest. It's like, damn, to everybody that want to see us win, like, bro, you really fucked up the season because of your thoughts and your emotions of I don't want to sit down. And then when I was reading, when he said something about he read the Drew Brees book about don't let your bad coat never see the field, it kind of just let me know like the mentality of him, like, bro, it's just about him and him only. No matter what
Selfish.
goes on, it's about Kirk. And it's
He's
like,
selfish.
yeah, and it's like I really hope that
Let let's stay right there. Let's stay
I
right
re-
there.
okay,
'Cause,
say that.
I, I, I wanna hold on to what you just said, and I want us all to think about that. He about himself, right?
Yep.
Everybody on the panel right now,
I agree.
and most people that's in the chat, probably more people gonna watch this later. We all can agree that we think that Kirk Cousins has been thinking more about himself throughout this entire process, from the time he signed on the dotted line till now. He been thinking about himself, right? So if we all feel this way, oh, Joe Test, but you wanted to say something on that before I go on? Because I'm
Yeah,
about to go.
because
I'm about to take a deep
think about
dive on it.
after we signed Kirk. Think about after we signed Kirk. What position did that put Kirk back in once we drafted Michael Penix? That put Kirk Cousins back in the same situation he was in when the Redskins
Mm-hmm.
drafted RG3.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Once Michael Penix took over that job in week 16 or week 17, that right there put Kirk Cousins back in that mindset of, I don't know when I'm going to see the field. I got a first round quarterback all over again. I'm about to end
So
my career the same way I started.
so self self preservation, like Three Duddy saying right here.
My thing with Kirk Cousins, I've been knew it was over with when I see him look at the media crazy when they was asking him like if he was hurt. He was like, I don't know. When he stopped second guessing, I knew he was putting the team underneath the bus. Like his body language just told everything. He didn't care about the team. It was everything about me, me, me,
He
me.
care about the
I
team.
don't
Care
care.
about the team. Care about the team right there. You say he ain't care about the team. Let's stay right there. He ain't care about the team. Selfish, self preservation. Didn't care about the team.
Arrogant. He arrogant. He real arrogant and pride. Yep.
Do
But
y'all
that
know
also
that
go
in?
back to
Do y'all know that in business? For all my, for everybody. Now I know some people say that they stand on business. I know that's a thing that's said these days. But in true business, loyalty is based on what? What is loyalty based on? Loyalty is based on the idea that whoever you're in alliance with can do for you what you can't do for yourself. I'm gonna say that one more time. Loyalty in business is based on the idea that whoever or whatever you're in alliance with can do for you what you can't do for yourself. It's the reason why sometimes enemies become business partners because one can do for the other that the other cannot, and vice versa. They come together, and sometimes what you need is what you provide with each other. My bad. Let me let this truck pass. This truck loud as fuck.
But yeah, though, man. I just like I said, man, Kirk Cousins was for himself, bro. And my thing is, I feel like they could have just benched him when we took that bye week. That was the perfect opportunity. But no, Raheem Morris he was worried about his ego. He wouldn't even worry about the team. We could have
But,
won. We could have been like
but see where Amy,
9-7, ten to
but see
seven.
where Amy, but this is why I want the fan base to stop getting in their feelings about this shit with Kirk Cousins. You should expect for that motherfucker to be for himself. He
There
ain't
you
come.
go.
He ain't been no Atlanta Falcon until now.
There you go.
And look at Kirk Cousins' whole career. He always been about this stuff. This man had 3, 4 franchise tags in a row.
Thank you. Thank
Every
you.
every every contract Kirk Cousins has received has been fully guaranteed since he took the starting job in Washington.
Yep.
Think about it. He only
You,
came to
that
Atlanta.
ain't by mistake.
Think about it. He only
So
came to
is he
Atlanta to
doing?
his
Go
father.
ahead.
That's it. He was coming to Atlanta for that 100 million guaranteed. No matter how he got it, that's all he was wanting was 100 million guaranteed.
Yeah,
Hey, so
he ain't care about winning.
so now is he doing what the Falcons would have did to him?
Yes,
There you go. He only
yes.
doing what we do. He only doing what our organization do. We don't give a damn about you until we need what we need from you. Get the hell on. That's
That's like
it.
we. That's like we didn't give a damn about his feelings when we drafted Michael Pitt.
There you go. So he only doing what we just did to him. We worry about us at the end. He worry about himself at the end.
So, so,
Facts. And then
so,
that go back to Raheem Morris knowing what the city of
Yep.
Atlanta and this team has been missing since he did not get the head coaching
so what
job
did he
in
say? What did he
2020.
say, Joe Test boy? What did he say? What did he say? Remind him. What did he
If we
say?
would have had better quarterback play, then I wouldn't have been here. If we would have had a better defense, he wouldn't have been here. If he would have did a better job in 2020, they would have gave him the job. But Arthur Blank wanted an offensive head coach for Matt Ryan. That's why Raheem Morris didn't get the job. When he came back for the second time, everything that we was missing in 2020, I bet we got it right now.
Do y'all know we've been the most confused fucking franchise in the last 60 years of our existence?
Yes,
Think
sir.
about it. We were
We've
supposed
been
to
one
make
of the
Raheem
most
Morris the head
confused
coach in
fucking
2020.
franchises. Ever since the beginning of this damn team's factioning, we went from defensive head coach, offensive head coach, defensive head coach, offensive head coach, defensive, offensive, 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 defensive, defensive, offensive, defensive. It's been a back and forth motherfucking thing for 60
Why is
fucking
that?
years.
And why is
Nothing
that?
has changed.
Outside of Raheem Morris, they've been trying to get the hottest coordinator smoking. We went and got Arthur Smith, went and got Dan Quinn, and everybody wanted Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick, the hottest thing smoking.
But
Raheem
that's
Morris,
but that's the game though. Coordinators get coordinators get promoted to head coach. That's the thing. That's how the let's we talk about what's the culture, right? And people want the culture to be something, simple, like we we're a passing team or we're a running team or we're a team that's known for defense. So with that's most teams. But with this team, we've always been what's hot. What is hot? Like Georgia Takes what just said. Who's the hottest coordinator? Who's the hottest? We've always been what's hot. This hot Atlanta. Every hot Atlanta. When you relate things to hot in a urban sense, in the urban sense, when you relate to hot, you relate to sexy, dancing, popular, uh, 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 buzz, what's trending. When you talk about hot, these are relate. This what you relate to what's hot, right? That's always been Atlanta, the city, Atlanta. That's always been our vibe. So this is why I started this stream. I was saying this before a lot of y'all got in here. That's in here now. Somewhere between now, somewhere between now and Julio Jones requesting to have a conversation about Dan Quinn being fired with off the blank.
Arthur Blank and everybody else in this organization decided not to give a fuck about your feelings. That's why Michael Penix Jr. was drafted in a pivot move on draft night, where they did intend on drafting a quarterback later in that draft, but they did not expect for Michael Penix to be available at number 8. They on record for saying this. Terry on record for saying it. Raheem on record for saying it. Arthur on record for saying it. They're all on record for saying the same damn thing. But in July of 2024, in an article done by The Athletic, Arthur Blank is quoted saying that they did communicate clearly. His words were clearly to Kirk Cousins that they did intend on drafting a quarterback in the 2024 draft. Maybe not in the first round, but there was an intention to draft a quarterback. This is the truth right here, y'all. This the truth, and I want y'all takes on it after I say this. This is the truth. The truth is, Kirk Cousins knew they would draft a quarterback. He didn't expect it to be in the first round, and he didn't expect it to be Michael Penix Jr., and he scared the shit out of him. Because he knew that Michael Penix Jr. was the real fucking deal. And as soon as that boy got his opportunity, he wasn't going to get his job back. That's the truth.
Yeah,
But
I
that
mean,
also
cause go ahead.
so the drafting of Michael, just like you said, that fire under his ass. I can't just lollygag the first because if I get put on that bench, I might not come back. That was the whole thing about Minnesota not taking the quarterback. And that Minnesota was only gonna give him 1 year of guaranteed money. Kirk Kirk Cousins knew he wasn't 100%. I'm telling you, if we wouldn't have drafted Michael Penix, Kirk Cousins would have been fine going to the bench and coming back next year.
And that's what I say, man. Like that, they let you know you're getting a quarterback. They like, hey, you want a 1 year prove it deal to them, because that's how I look at the contract. Like, yeah, we give you the money, but we want to see the production on the field. You got to take care of the ball. You got to make sure the defense fresh, getting critical start. The defense played lights out. But once you start throwing them interceptions and all that, and then you kept putting the defense back on the field, then I could tell because J.C. Bates was getting frustrated with Kirk Cousins. He was looking at Kirk Cousins like sideways. I already knew it. Just the whole team was frustrated with Kirk Cousins, man. And I'm
But
right now. I'm just hoping that they just go ahead and tell him, hey, if you don't want to be here, just go ahead and retire, and we can take the money off his books respectfully. Because I don't want him to be on his roster. To be honest with you,
but see, that's one
I
thing
don't know
about
why
Kirk
that
Cousins.
would
See,
ain't.
right
He the
now,
best damn backup in the league. I can tell you that.
see,
I can tell you that straight up.
see in Atlanta, we never
I
got
can't
to
hear
see
you,
Kirk Cousins up
Rex,
close.
man. What you said?
But once we got a chance to see Kirk Cousins up close, we
Sorry, you
know
muted.
if you go back to those Minnesota games, Kirk, Kirk Cousins known to give you a spell of bad games every year. It's just that he had somebody on his heels. That's the only difference. Every
He
time
had
Kirk
Michael
Cousins
Penix
done
Jr.
played
on his
bad,
heel. If
every
y'all
time Kirk Cousins done played bad, he ain't never had nobody
Can't even hear
looking
y'all
over that
boys.
shoulder to take his spot.
he didn't have nobody at the caliber of Michael Penix looking over his
Right.
shoulder.
And I
Exactly.
think, and I
So,
feel like
so
just
Kirk
like he,
Cousins just knew because Kirk Cousins knew that he was hurt before he played his first down. He knew Kirk Kirk Cousins knew that he wasn't 100%, but this the first time he couldn't just lollygag and be ready for the next year. No, that was a real possibility, and it showed. If Kirk Cousins sit down, he might not get that starting job back. And look what happened.
If anybody think that Kirk Cousins didn't know who Michael Penix Jr. was before that draft night, you sadly mistaken.
yeah, if motherfucker trying to act like Kirk Cousins, or even if he trying to play like he ain't really know who MP9 was, he's capping, bro. It's no way you didn't know. It's no way possible. He's
He
nowhere
knew
near.
who
Don't forget that
he knew
Minnesota sent their
he
people
knew
up
who he
there
was.
before Atlanta sent their people up there to go look at Michael Pickens in Seattle.
He
Yep.
knew he knew who he was. Okay, and he knew who he was well before then. Well before then. Let's not forget when Michael Penix got to Washington from Indiana, he put Washington back on the map.
Straight up.
Let's
And
not
Damn
forget
sure
that.
did. He
and
damn
to the
sure
boys
did.
to the national championship against Michigan. He just ain't had no running back.
So let's not. I mean, even before they went to the national championship, the year before that they got snubbed from the playoff. They
Yeah.
should have been a playoff team the year before
Yeah,
that.
cause they was an undefeated team, right?
Yep.
They was one of the
Yep.
undefeated teams, right?
Georgia,
They didn't get in.
Georgia should have played Washington instead of TCU.
Yup, yup, for sure that. And they probably would have beat all that. That's why they ain't picked them.
But I ain't mad at none of this. And the reason why I ain't mad at it is just like my homegirl Kristen Lewis said earlier in this show in the chat. She already knew I was gonna go with this. This is what the Falcons want. They want this. They want to be looked at as we got in-house drama. We not as good as our roster is dictating. It's question marks with the coaching. And you got some unintentional allies out here in the content creating community that's contributing to that narrative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is what the Falcons want because it's something that and I do like the underdog mentality. I do like it, but I think the direction that off the blank and the rest of the team, I think the something that they all are trying to adopt to one another is instinctual football.
I, ju- I,
Go ahead. You feel
I,
where I'm going with that, Will, man?
Yeah, I just feel like this will make a break for the whole department, front office, the coaching staff. And I won't put the players on the bus, but I'm just saying it just Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, it's a make a break. It's a put up a shut up year for me. Cause Terry Fontenot, he gave Raheem all the pieces this year. It just we need to see it on the field. We need to see less talking and see production on the field and seeing you making adjustments on the fly and getting on players' ass as they messing up on the field and it's doing a lot of substitution. That's what I want to see. Like Mad Mike said, I don't want to hear no guns popping, chewing gum, looking at the scoreboard. I want to see you yelling, getting on players' ass as they messing up, or you benching somebody and they ain't doing their job.
I don't give a fuck
But
about that.
I'm gonna
okay.
be honest. I'm gonna
So
be
Steve,
honest.
Go
that's
ahead,
why
go
I
ahead, go
gotta
ahead.
agree with William Amy because how you gonna judge somebody's character on how they coach? Like it's like basically everything you saying is identity politics. I don't want nobody chewing gum. I don't want nobody smiling.
Yeah,
But
they're like, okay, yeah, I'm glad y'all saying
it's
that
like
shit.
that's not, it's like you attacking his character instead of okay. Now I understand if he don't call them damn timeouts. If he don't do what he's supposed to do as a head coach, and then yeah, you know what I'm saying. You fired. The season is bad. You're not gonna get a third year like Arthur Smith. But a lot of stuff that people be mad about is identity politics.
Yeah,
And it just shit that's how they feel. It
but
ain't even
not,
what nobody else saying. It's just how they feel. Like a
but
couple of country creators, we know about certain shit they be saying. It just their way of how they feel about this dude. It
but
ain't what the NFL saying. It's not what the people around them saying. It just what some of our fan base are having a problem with of they liking and they substance of a coach. And it's
But
like at the end of the day,
because they see a few people drop some comments against or something that they don't like in a backroom chat somewhere, they go take it and run with it and make it seem like it's something that the entire fan base is saying. Just
yeah,
like the Kyle Pitts situation. We want Kyle Pitts to have Julio Jones number. Who said that?
right.
it be these losing on fans. But see, but only thing what I'm saying was Raheem is like, bros, you been a defense coordinator, you been a wide receiver coach when you was on this coaching style. I need to see that same energy you did when you been us 8 years ago. We've been in the
But
playoffs
he
since
like Dan
2017.
Quinn. That's what people fail to realize. He not Dan Quinn.
And he still got that energy. He's a motivator. He ain't got
Right.
to yell.
That's
He
what
ain't
people
got
fail
to
to
get up
realize. Like,
and
bro,
slap your helmet.
And see, and that's why, and that's what I say. We should have, even though I know people know might not like this when I say this, we should have got Bill Belichick from the jump. Somebody that knew
where
who
has
the
Bill
hell was gonna
Belichick
do it.
done since Tom Brady left New England?
He
Top
ain't
four
did
pick,
nothing.
trash ass defense,
Thank
make
you.
Matt Patricia an offensive coordinator when he never coached
Thank
on the
you.
offensive side of the ball.
Thank
But
you.
I'm just saying though, I better have him than
This is
Raheem
who
Morris because Raheem.
Ryan
Okay,
Morris
now just answer
to
this
be the
one
head
question,
coach in
Will.
2020.
Just answer this one question, Will. And why would you want Belichick? Give me one thing, and besides the Super Bowl, why would you want him right now in his current state since he haven't been with Tom Brady? Why would you want Belichick?
Bill Belichick don't care about feelings. He gonna make the proper adjustments and he gonna make sure the players doing their damn job. That's
So
one
how do we
thing.
know?
That's
How do
that.
we know that
5 years in New
Raheem
England. What
is
happened
the
I'm
these
same
last
way?
5 years in New England? Holding folks
I,
accountable got him what? A head coach at the University of North Carolina.
exactly. Yeah, of course, because the
Which,
NFL no
which
NFL
ain't a
team didn't
bad
want him.
job. They pay well.
I mean, they pay well, but I'm saying but see, Bill Belichick, he one of those. I get you on that. He got them Super Bowl because of Tom Brady and that good defense they had. They had a top 10 defense every year when he was with the Patriots. I get that,
He wasn't
but what
calling
I'm
plays. That was Matt Patricia calling
but
plays on defense. That's
but
how Matt Patricia got a head coaching job with the Lions before going back to the Patriots when he got fired.
but what I'm saying is, what did Raheem Morris did every year since he been a head coach when he was with
Okay,
Tampa? He
okay,
had a
okay.
losing season,
Think about it.
right?
Think about it. Raheem Morris was the defensive back assistant and got moved up to head coach. And that's only because Mike Tomlin got taken away by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, but I'm
Tampa
just
Bay
saying
wanted
though.
Mike Tomlin. So Tampa Bay feel that, well, shit, Raheem Morris learned under Mike Tomlin and Money Kiflin just like Tomlin. Let's give Raheem Morris a chance, making him the youngest head coach at that time. They basically tried to Sean McVay Raheem Morris and it didn't work. And
All
then
I,
when was that? 2010 to
man,
2013. They didn't even have fucking Jameis Winston.
mm,
That they had fucking Josh Freeman out of Kansas State University.
And
but
you talking about a son bitch who was who? Trash.
But what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is on Raheem, I'm not mad. I'm just telling him he needed to do a better job as in coaching, bro. Because when we was in Commanders in Washington, when Michael Penix threw that ball to Darnell Mooney or whoever he threw it to, we had 30 seconds and he did not call the
Okay.
timeout, bro.
Okay. Now you ready? You ready? He didn't have to call a timeout. Why did we lose that game? Because the kicker was short 2-3 yards. Why call a timeout to get a defense time to reset? That
There you
game was
go.
won if the kicker make the kick. That
There you
game was
go.
won.
There you
He
go.
missed the
He,
kick by 2 yards. The game was
he,
won.
hey, George Test boy, I was with you up until they talk about that damn kick. That motherfucker wasn't finna make no 56 yarder. The motherfucker could barely make a 50 yarder.
But
That's why they
and
should
keep
have
that
called the
same energy
timeout.
for Matt
Let me
Brown when
tell
he
you why
missed the
let me
kick.
tell you why they should have
But
called the
so
timeout. They should have called the timeout because you know you got a Joe goddamn kicker. You just got up out the goddamn paper or
A practice
plastic
squad.
house.
Come on now, at the practice squad,
but
bro.
You know
okay,
I
you
need a
just
but
special
okay,
kicker.
think
got a
I'm
about it.
just saying.
goddamn Joe kicker.
I'm just
You
saying we
need to
could have
get him
Think
as
about it.
close as possible
for
for that
30.
damn
We
field
call that
goal.
timeout. You
Exactly.
don't get that catch from Darnell Mooney. We call it timeout. The defense is gonna be able to reset. Not calling a timeout. We got that first down from Darnell Mooney. Just like Raheem Morris said, the maturity of Michael Penix, they thought they was gonna get down the field faster, but the whole offense lagged going down the field.
I feel where you coming from, brother. I'm just saying Raheem Morris on the hot seat because, brother, we missed the playoffs. He out of here. He's out of here. Like it
I
or
I'm gonna
don't
be
not,
think
honest,
so.
bro. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
believe so.
I'm gonna
I
be
don't
honest,
think
bro.
so,
I
William. Man,
believe
I
I'm
so.
gonna
don't
be
think so.
honest. Will.
Don't
I'm gonna
think
be
so.
honest, bro. If you think Raheem is on the hot seat, you're a damn fool. I'm sorry
You
to tell you,
crazy.
my brother.
You
You're a damn
crazy.
fool.
We got everything that we've been missing. Raheem Morris went and got in one offseason.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. But I'm
Everything
still,
we was missing, he went and got in
Outside
one
of
offseason.
outside of
Oh,
Marcus
Oh
oh,
man,
Peters,
oh,
we
George
need an
Test,
edge
you,
rusher. We need a dog. We need somebody to take
that's
over
due to Jeff
defense.
Ubert. That's due to Jeff Ubert. That ain't due to Raheem Morris. Jeff Ubert did that.
Exactly. Jeff Ober's got the player. He told Raheem that's the players who he want, and he going to
Outside
develop
of
them.
outside of the first season of
Who
last
hired
year,
Right,
Aubrey?
running back Geno.
Who
Raheem
hired
is not a
Aubrey?
defense coordinator.
Who hired Aubrey? Who told Aubrey to come in for an interview? I bet you
Raheem.
it was Raheem Morris.
Okay, but Raheem's not. He's not coaching on the defense side of the ball. It's Jeff Ulbrich and his son, and what's his name? Gary, and what's his name? Gary. What's that corner DB coach? Jeff. I was trying to think his name.
Jerry Gray.
Yeah, him.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
okay.
coaching that secondary.
Why is Jerry Gray still here? Because Raheem said, I like Jerry Gray. I want to make Jerry Gray my assistant head coach on defense. Right or wrong?
Yeah,
All
but
right then. So you can't say Raheem Morris ain't making these decisions. Are y'all saying that Bill Belichick ain't Bill his team? Or was that Matt Patricia who put the defense? Or was that Josh McDaniels who put the
That was
offense
John.
with Tom
That was
Brady?
John McDaniels. That was John McDaniels.
all I'm saying is we need Raheem Morris to make them adjustments, and call timeouts when we need on critical stops. That's what I need for him to do. I'm
All
just
right.
saying. I want the
So
offense. I'm not
we
worried about the offense. The offense gonna put points on the board. We're not worried. I'm not saying nothing about the offense. I'm just saying for our defense, when teams start to get hot, start cooking, and we need to make adjustments like on the fly. And I'm not talking about going to halftime.
That
I'm
was
talking
last
like,
year's defense.
when,
We got a whole new defense. We don't know
yeah,
what they got under their sleeve. We can't go off last season. This is a brand new defense from
yeah,
top to bottom.
yeah. We
A
should be a
brand
top
new defense.
15. We should be a top 15 defense. We should be top 15, and our record should be at least 12-5 or 10 and
We
7.
don't need
I
to
ain't
be
gonna
top 15.
we,
If we got
hey,
an
hey,
offense
hey,
that can
Will,
drop
you know
30
we
points,
was
why you need a top 15 defense?
I
Huh?
You
understand.
got an offense that can drop 30.
I
Yeah,
feel
I ain't
like
said
this
the
how
offense. I said the defense. I said defense should be a top 15 or a top 10.
Why?
I feel like this
Why?
how
What you
You
the
don't
mean
need a
why?
top 10 defense. You got to, if your offense dropping
why they
30,
just
why do you
can't
need a top 10
compliment the
defense?
offense. Why they
I
just
mean,
can't compliment the offense, Will? How
they
about
will
how
come.
about they just
They
compliment
will.
the
They
offense?
will. They will. When the pass
And how
rush, when the
about the
pass rush
offense
come alive,
compliment them?
they
Because
both.
let me tell you something that's been a misconception with this team and how the season's done played out. I done watched the defense make critical stops in the fourth quarter and give the offense an opportunity to win games and the offense come up short. I've
Three and out.
seen that and watched that
Intercept. Missed
since
field goal.
2017. I've watched that since 2017, and that's including in the playoff game that we lost to the Philadelphia Eagles when Julio Jones couldn't connect with Julio in the end zone in that fourth quarter. The defense went down there and made a stop, and the offense couldn't capitalize. I've watched that in many games, where the defense did its job, but the offense didn't do theirs. But we keep making it seem like it's always been this defense. It's always been the defense.
I
Forget
just feel
about where they rank it. Forget about the rank. Forget about the amount of points that they allowing. Forget about that. How about they just do a better job complimenting one another? Because
I
the
just feel like we
Kansas
need more
City
turnover
Chiefs,
this year though.
wait a minute. Because the Kansas City Chiefs defense ain't been a great defense.
they just
It's,
compliment each other.
they just do a good job complimenting one another. When the defense makes a stop, a critical stop, the offense go put up points. When the offense need to score, and they do, but the other team get an opportunity, the defense make a stop. That's the difference. They
And then
just
it
got
comes
to
to the
compliment
timeout.
one another.
Just like
The
timeout,
New
they
York Giants, in both of their Super Bowl wins with Eli Manning. Do you know what their defense was ranked?
Probably like 27 to 26 or something like that. Like down there close to
No,
the 90.
I'm asking because I really don't know. I just
Right.
remember them. I
They
just remember
probably
their defense not being that good
they
all
probably
season
like
long.
Oh no, I can't say that. That year they went 9-7 as a wild card. That defense stepped up that year they won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, but what was their rank?
he said he ranked in the regular season. He talking like in the regular season, not like when they
Yeah,
won the
what was
Super
their
Bowl.
rank?
Like he's saying like they were like probably like dead
I,
last 31 or
I
30 or
think they
something.
were ranking pretty good. Cause ain't that the same year Michael Strahan broke the record?
Yep.
Well, they did it twice.
That was
No, I'm talking
'07 when
about
Michael
the most
Strahan broke
recent
the
one.
record.
That's the year you speaking on, then?
I'm speaking on both seasons because I don't know. I just remember watching games back then. The defense didn't look all that good in the regular season. Somebody look that up. Look up because I'm on my phone. I can't look. I mean, I could, but it's some bullshit gonna happen.
Yeah, and then like what they were saying earlier about Raheem Morris in timeout.
They were number 17, and
The
they
Kansas
were
City
number
Chiefs did the
17.
same thing. The Kansas City Chiefs did the same thing against us. And the reason ain't called no timeouts. And then what happened? We got
You breaking up, Jordan Test boy, going in and out,
Yeah,
going
they
in
were
and out,
number
in and out.
17 in defense, though.
They was 17th on defense. Who was that?
That was the Giants. The most the recent one they had like in '07. They was 17.
They was the 17 ranked defense. That
Yeah.
ain't top 15 win, man. They just when it mattered, they complemented one another well. The defense and the
Yeah,
offense. You see what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
part of the reason why. Like, okay, I'm gonna use the Baltimore Ravens for an example here with Lamar Jackson.
He always had a good defense. He just choked. That's a choke
He's
boy.
always had he's always had a good defense. The problem has been when the defense need him to complement them, he ain't been able to. The offense itself hasn't been able to.
Hmm.
Either he turning the ball over, or somebody dropping a damn critical catch.
And I think
It
that job was paid off when that tight end. I ain't mean to cut you off. Who dropped that
Well,
ball
when
in that
Mark Andrews dropped that pass in the end
yeah,
zone.
yeah, he did that on purpose, man. That shit was rigged. He could have caught that ball. I'm telling you, sports is rigged now.
Nah,
They
I
get
ain't gonna
paid.
say. Buddy just probably dropped it. Huh?
Nah, he did that on purpose, brother.
I
Ain't no
think
way.
you think
You ain't had no
you think
defender
he
sticking on you. Come on
you
now. That's like you
you
diving for the ball. If I
you
see a ball almost catch the ground, I'm securing that catch, bro.
yeah you
You
think
get paid
Keanu
for
Neal
that.
tried to catch the ball with his knee? Think that
Oh,
shit
that was
rings true?
funny. That was funny. Nah, it's just he ain't
Billy
got nah.
Bill,
He sucked at coverage. He can't cover. Keanu
Billy
Neal can't
Bill
cover.
I say fuck him because I feel as though he knew the whole team what was really up with Kirk and refused to sit his ass down for a game or two. You're the head coach. You can make sure Kirk gets his job back after an injury.
My bad. I
Mm,
just came in. What's going on, everybody? What's the damn topic?
thanks. What's up,
What's up
Naru?
with Jay Holler?
I just came in. What's the topic?
Well, we're talking about how Kirk Cousins on this season 2 of this Netflix series is being quoted for saying he did kind of feel misled by the Falcons, but it's a quote that occurred many months ago during the 2024 season when it was recorded. Something that we done already tackled, right? As a fan base, me as a content creator, most of the media, something that's already been tackled. But I turn on, I don't typically turn on my content watching, my content analyzing. I said, now I just made up a word. But my content analyzing, I don't usually do that until I come get in my truck and I'm, getting on the road because I got a lot of other shit going on when I'm not in this truck. So I turn my damn shit on today on YouTube, on uh some of the 3-letter and 4-letter networks, and I'm seeing this brought up all over again, and it's being made a big deal. Seeing articles being written on it, how they're quoting Kirk Cousins on saying he felt misled by the Atlanta Falcons. And if he would have known that they was going to draft a quarterback in the first round, it would have changed his decision making. As far as him deciding to come here or not, because he did like it in Minnesota. In his words, they liked it in Minnesota, loved it in Minnesota. So if him knowing that Minnesota and Atlanta were going to be drafting quarterbacks in the first round, he maybe would have stayed put. Maybe would have stayed where he was at. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said and what he was quoted. But this is something that we already knew. We
So is this
tackled this
basically
months ago.
what he? So basically, what he was said a long time ago is basically being resurfaced because of the show coming out.
Exactly, because the show came out and he said it on his show.
Ah, yeah, of course NFL needs some drama, so that ain't surprising.
That ain't surprising. But I'm asking the question if this is a distraction or not, considering
Nah,
the unintentional allies out here to pushing the narrative for Raheem Morris being on the hot seat or Terry Fontenot being on the hot seat because of the decision to continue to play Kirk Cousins knowing he was hurt or not knowing he was hurt and should have known he was hurt.
a distraction towards who though?
That's the question. Is it a distraction to the team? Is it a locker room distraction? Is it? Do you think this is a distraction at all?
Probably to
To the,
fans and media, they want to create a distraction, but if they already been through it and shit set in stone, Kirk, your ass gonna be a clipboard holder. Then what the fuck? So, nah, I don't think it'll be a locker room distraction at all.
I don't know. This it's the off season, right? We know they ain't nobody at Flowery Branch right now. Ain't nobody suited up working out at the facility. Ain't a whole lot to report. Ain't a whole lot to report, which is part of the reason why this show was released when they knew nobody was going to be at a facility working out, because it gives you something else to talk about now around the NFL. It gives you more controversy. It gives you more drama. It gives you more content to have to talk about. But in our case, this is something that's already been discussed, something that's already been, we've already attacked this head on. So I'm asking the question, why is this being used as a distraction by unintentional allies of this narrative being driven, especially content creators? But this is but these are the content creators that are also pushing the narrative for you to you should be more upset with Raheem Morris than what you are.
So is this the
This
same content
those,
creators call us stupid for drafting Michael Penix?
those these the same content creators. Some of them, yeah. Some of them have said we were stupid for drafting Michael Penix. Some of them say we were stupid for guaranteeing Kirk Cousins $100 million, not knowing. And this something else too. We attacked all this, y'all, months ago. Especially if you've been paying attention over here with the home team with Blakberry. Especially if you've been paying attention over here. What's happening? No, this for our team. Yeah, you going up the hill right here? Is that where you going? Yeah, you can come around us and go up the driveway right there to the right. You going uphill, right? Yeah. So when you turn right here, it's gonna be a driveway on the right. You just go up through there. This for this building right here. 6220. All right, man. All right, my bad. But now you know what I mean. Get what the fuck I was saying. What the fuck I was talking about? Jay Holly.
The same content creator was making fun of us for signing Kirk to $100 million contract.
Yeah. So the same. You got them content. You got the ones that that wanted to prolong the question why did we guarantee Kirk Cousins $100 million? I'm in the worst fucking spot to do this damn show today. It's
I
loud
mean,
as
look
fuck
at the
right here.
contract. It's a smart contract. There's a lot of motherfuckers got way more money in it that ain't did shit.
It Kirk Cousins ain't in the top. He ain't even in the top 10 to get paid amongst quarterbacks in 2025.
No. They ain't looking at the 100 million. They looking at 180 million. That's what they looking at. They just bypassed the 100 grand. Nah, they want the whole 180. They thinking he getting paid that.
Yeah, they looking at the guarantee, but this is something that we talked about months ago, y'all. If you've been paying attention over here with the home team with Blakberry, this is what we've been taught. We talked about this months ago. How the contract is a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen. The content, the variables and the contents of the contract, and then the language of the contract dictate that this was not meant to be a crippling deal for the Falcons, uh Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed dollars. We talked about this months ago. How the 10 million, he's only getting that 10 million this year. And that's all. I mean, he's getting that 10 million this year. He's already been given the $90 million. We talked about that months ago. Months ago. And much like some of the content creators today talking about it are late to the party, like they are with a lot of things, we done talked about it. We done talked about how the Raheem Morris contract, I mean, not Raheem Morris, how the Kirk Cousins contract is a smoke screen. How it's really not a bad deal for the Falcons. We done talked about how we done talked about how the secondary unit is really what's being built around on this defense. We talked about that months ago. We talked about how it needed an interior push to really solidify this team as being exactly what we need it to be. We talked about that with the pass rush and with the coverage scheme. We talked about that months ago. A lot of these content creators are late to the fucking party. And every time I think about
Clicked on the lie.
every time I think about what I said a long time, I said this a long time ago. I said, and I can't remember exactly how I said it, but I said something similar to like this. I said, everything that I'm talking about right now, and I said this months ago. Everything I'm talking to y'all about right now, everything that I talked about with the draft, everything that's transpiring right now, your boy Blakberry saw this. I first seen all of this many, many months ago. And I said,
Yeah, he
why?
sure did hit that draft on the head though. I
I hit
damn
it
sure
right
want to
on the.
spend that double dipping in that first round. You hit that motherfucker.
And I said, watch it. I said, watch. It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be saying this shit later, pretending like it's them, like it was them. You heard it here first. You're gonna hear a lot of. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. First of all, let me tell y'all something. There's a reason why I don't make content every day of the week. There's a reason why I only do content 3 days a week. Because when you get to talking a lot,
Forget what you say.
at some point you're gonna start contradicting yourself. Word vomit. In sales, we call it word vomit. And it's one of the fastest ways to kill a sale. When you talk so goddamn much, you talk yourself out of what you're trying to accomplish. See, some of these content creators don't have an authentic thought because they talk so fucking much that they end up either covering all the bases to say that they said this, but they also said all of the other things too. Or they'll end up saying the opposite of something that they already said one time before. And if you really paying attention to them, you'll catch it. But they talk so fucking much. They talk all week long to you. And some of you feed right into the bullshit. But I'm trying to wake some of y'all up. A lot of motherfuckers contradicting themselves. A lot of motherfuckers in this content creating world that's starting to repeat shit that some of us been saying for months. But because they got a bigger following, you gonna have to really dig deep to see if Blakberry said it first. Or see if Jay Holland said it. Or see if Three Dirty said it. What's up with you, Three Dirty, by the way?
What's up, big dog? What's going on? Hey, look, I'm gonna be in
What's
and
up,
out.
man?
I'm
What
out
you
here.
got on this Kirk Cousins shit today?
Well,
Go ahead, what you said?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Can you
got you.
hear me? Okay. Now I wanted to chime
Yeah,
in
I can hear
on
you. Yeah.
the media part, and and if I'm getting
Okay.
too deep into it, you cut me off. If
No, go ahead.
everybody on this panel, if they've been watching content creators, it's a dead part of the season, and to get clicks, 330 was the topic on shows for the last 2 months. Entire shows. And I'm using that to co-sign to what the bigger medias are doing. Everybody wants to create controversy to get people to watch them. But only shows like this are addressing the needs and the accomplishments of the off season. Everybody blaming all Raheem and Fontenot and all of them. But the last 2 years, the front office was jacked up. Everybody done forgot about that. The front office was not in order. So this year, the front office is
Damn,
out of
little
the
Blackberry.
picture. The front office is out of the picture. Now it's time for the coaches to do their job. And I'm saying Raheem got 2 years to make this thing work.
2 years from now or counting last year?
No, this year and next season. People saying
Okay.
that if he don't, people are saying that if he don't go to the playoffs, he's done. You can't fire that man like that. You can't fire a upper manager in an organization because some of the things that were done by the people above him 2 years prior, unless they're gonna make him the scapegoat. But in real good business, you can't fire him next year if we don't make the playoffs. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. So if I'm ownership and I done went before the world and I done told the world that my general manager's first year having full control over his job title is this year.
Right.
I'm essentially also saying that everybody's safe.
Hello. That's what I'm
Because
saying.
because if my general manager ain't had full control, and I'm
How
now
can,
giving him that, that means everybody prior to now has to have been given the benefit of the doubt. Outside of who's already been disbanded, because there's a reason why they were disbanded, i.e., Jimmy Lake. It's a reason why, but I can't fire Raheem Morris the first year that I'm on record for saying my general manager finally getting full control.
Hey, Blackberry,
Also,
can I chime in?
yeah, go ahead.
Let me chime in on that. Because if you get rid of Raheem after this season, let's just say you get rid of Raheem. Now you're gonna bring in another coach that these players are not their players. So you starting over. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
So what you did was you created another problem from the problem that you just solved.
Like Ricky said, we would never get ahead. And that's the whole point. I said this a couple years ago when we were trying, a few years ago maybe, when we were trying to, when we were all debating whether or not Arthur Smith's job here was up, depending on what happened. In that 2020, what was that, 2023 season, we
Yeah,
were all debating whether or not Arthur Smith should be the head coach after 2023. Um, I said something. I said, I'm tired of the coaching carousel. I'm sick of it. Because while I understand coordinators move on and coordinators get promoted to head coaches, that ain't been the case in Atlanta but one time. And that one time was Kyle Shanahan.
true.
That's only been the case one time in Atlanta. All of the other times, we gave up on the offensive coordinators. We gave up on the defensive coordinators. After one or two seasons, we gave up on them. Part of the reason being for exactly what you just said, 330. The front office has been in a dismay. And if the front office wasn't in a dismay, the coaching was. The head coaching, should I say. But it really has been this front office at the root of everything. It's been this front office because, and it ain't just the Arthur Blank regime, it's the ownership before him too. And the ownership before that one. Like I said, 60 years has been the most confused fucking franchise in the NFL. One season you got an offensive head coach. The next you got a defensive. They stick around a couple years. Then you go to an offensive coach again. Back to a defensive head coach. Back to an offensive head coach. Back to a It's been this way for 60 years. But this is why the Kirk Cousins situation resonates with me in a way that at the end of 2025, your boy Blakberry gonna be the best. I'm gonna be the biggest one that's gonna be able to tell y'all, I told you so. That's why I ain't said it yet. That's what I mean. I have been kind of saying it about the draft, but I ain't really said much of this that I had already foresaw. I haven't said it yet because I know at the end of 2025, I'm gonna be able to say, I told you so. And when we downtown at the parade, your boy Blakberry, I need my own goddamn float. I need my own goddamn float down there at that damn parade because I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be really able to stand here and say, I told you so. Because the smoke screen, I mean, it's fucking Batman like. The way they got dealt the hand they got dealt with Kirk Cousins, and they made their own bed, and they said, well, if we gonna lie in it, They made their own bed and said, well, if we gonna lie in this Kirk Cousins bed, we need to make sure it's a good sleep. We need to make sure there's some good sleep we get in this Kirk Cousins bed. Michael Penix Jr. is on the dock. Take him. We
That,
graded him high. We did not see him falling. Here he is. We don't want a quarterback situation. We on record for saying that. We don't want to have that quarterback situation we just had with Ritter and with the other boy.
that's
It's
why
been
they made the move.
that's why they made the move.
That's why they
And
made the move.
as Arthur Blank said, as highly graded as they had Michael Penix Jr. in this draft, the coaching staff and the personnel staff, as highly graded as they had him, there was no way they weren't going to take him. Terry said it and Raheem said it. Arthur
And
said it in July of 2024.
and that's why we drafted the way we did this season. Last season was the blueprint or the new way to draft for the Falcons.
What you got on that, Jay Holler?
My bad, my bad. I just got in. I got in. I just got back in. You saying about the how they graded on Michael Penix?
Yeah, how they ended up taking him as a pivot during the draft.
Shit, like Arthur Plank said, nigga ain't finna go through no quarterback carousel no more. We done ran through what 3 quarterbacks in 2 seasons, just about.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, they showed you who we were gonna draft. Cause then we sent like the whole fucking front office plus the
Sent,
scouting team to a private
sent the
workout.
whole coaching staff,
We sent everybody up there for a private workout to Washington, so they know we mean business when it came down to that boy. A lot of motherfuckers disagree with it because we signed Kirk to a shit ton of money and it just cap space. So I don't see why this. Man, I don't know.
Hell, from the side of it, Kirk disagree with it, but this the thing, Kirk. You should have known that they weren't gonna give a fuck about how you felt about that shit because they guaranteed you most of your money up front, like we talked about months ago. In the tail end of your contract, you ain't really getting that damn much. So you took a great deal that was also team friendly.
To be honest, you wasn't getting no 100 million guarantee no motherfucking where else. If that in the case, Minnesota, you would have signed with Minnesota if they were giving you that. If you loved it so goddamn much, obviously they didn't want your ass. That's why they went and got JJ McCarthy. When you coming back from an injury, how many people getting guaranteed 100 mils?
Nobody.
I mean, niggas business. Fuck your feelings. It's football. You think we ain't gonna draft for some insurance and something happened to your ass?
That's good
But
business right there, bro.
it's good business.
That's good
And,
business.
and, and in good business, ain't no room for giving fuck about people's feelings. Ain't no room for it. And I said this earlier, and I'm really good at coming up with quotes. So y'all check this out, and y'all make sure that y'all repeat this somewhere in your life. In business, loyalty is based off of the idea that whoever you're in alliance with or what you're in alliance with can do for you what you can't do for yourself.
Let me add to that. I got a saying to go with that. Businesses are designed to take care of themselves.
The ones that work, the ones that succeed, that's right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The ones that are successful, they have a formula in place that no matter who comes and who goes, it's designed to take care of itself.
And look, and see, in a nutshell, ATL 251 He don't even, in a nutshell, he hitting it right home. He hitting it home right here. We should have got rid of Grady sooner. That's the whole problem to the entire Falcons team last 5 years. And
That we
that is
stay
why
we stay loyal for
Michael
too
Penix,
long.
that's why Michael Penix was drafted. That's
Exactly.
why. Because in this article from the Fanatic in July of 2024, when they quoted off the blank, they said, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna finish my thought. Go ahead, y'all speak on that.
Where you were going with the article in 2024?
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. He was going to bring that up.
What was the article about?
I think he's talking about the whole thing when Kirk was saying they were going back over what Kirk was saying about whether he was hurt and whether he wasn't hurt, and had he known about
Oh,
what the
about
Falcons
us
was going
signed to
to do.
him, and then the fucking draft pick came.
Yeah, man, Kirk know the deal on that.
I like,
He was a
come
product
on.
of that process. He was in the same shoes that Penix in. They
To be
drafted RG3, then
exactly,
they drafted him.
exactly.
So he got brand new on us. He forgot where he came from.
So you think Minnesota won't go pull the same shit? Nigga, you had an Achilles injury and you up in age.
Man,
We need insurance. And we shouldn't have to tell you who we go fucking draft.
no, you
Nigga,
don't.
I
Because
ain't got
you
to tell
already
you
know he
shit.
talked too much.
And you just cost us the fucking draft pick.
Exactly.
They mean we don't need to tell you shit. You can't hold water. As my damn grandmama say. Yeah, they can't hold no water.
But see, by him not being in management, he didn't need to have privy to that information no way.
Just saying. I don't think Minnesota wanted his ass.
Man, they was not going to keep that dude.
Man, they had their eye stuck on J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix or whoever would have came. They was done with you, fam. They gave you a lot of money. You really ain't did too much of shit with them, and you fresh on the injury. I don't know, Penix. Any old person that knows shit, I'm finna get replaced by a young bull or something. And you know your time coming to an end.
Man, that happens everywhere. That happened to me before I retired. They brought them young boys up there, and I had to train them before I retired.
At the same time, you can't get mad at that.
No, I
Shit,
didn't get mad.
Father time, go catch up, fam. And I think this might be Kirk last year
Oh, he
on the
done.
board. If
If it
somebody
is,
get hurt, they go trade for him, cool. But outside of that, I think this Kirk real deal last season.
but if it is, it's his own fault
Hell yeah. You want to
because
wait
they didn't
until the
even want
draft
to
and all
play.
that other bullshit?
They didn't even want to play. Remember, bro, we weren't gonna see Penix till 2027. They already said it. That's why he wasn't ready with the playbook because they didn't even really have him practicing. They just had him throwing balls with the second team.
Exactly.
They didn't even have him in the playbook like that.
Now,
To be honest, that's what his
is that
contract
going to be
say.
an excuse?
Nigga, you here for 2 seasons, fam.
They already said we weren't gonna see Penix for 2 seasons. If everything had went right, we wouldn't have seen Penix for. That's why they didn't let us go to the camp last year. Cause imagine if y'all have seen Penix throw that ball versus Kirk Cousins. Who you'd have been rooting for last year?
Penix.
That whole sideline would have been on their ass. Put
And
Penix
see, that's
in.
the thing. Even though, like some people say, it's a business, it shouldn't matter what the fans say, but the fans the one that spend money. So they do take that into consideration a little bit. You can tell by this draft they take it into consideration. Cause imagine if they'd have let Jalen Walker slip like the Panthers in the New Orleans,
Mm.
Well, we finna burn that motherfucker down.
especially he right there.
We finna burn it down. And then
So
they on
really,
us about drafting, doubling back in and picking up fucking what's my boy name? James Pierce.
Yeah,
That was a genius move and lucky move.
but see what a lot of people don't know, like if you go look at Jaden at Michael Penix and Jaden Daniels college numbers, Michael Penix is leading him in passing yards by at least damn near extra two, about 1,700.
So I think he
But
the only one who down there threw for what 5,000 2 years in a row, damn near. Well,
yeah, he
Pat
had
Mahomes did.
555 passing what you call this deep passes his whole college career. But Daniels also was doing more running than Penix, even though Penix can run. So that's where a lot of his passing yards may have went from him running the ball. But I mean, in my mind, we got the second best quarterback in that draft, even though he went in number 8.
Shit, I say first. Shit,
Truthfully, I do
The
think
buck can throw for 5,000 and he can run. He just rather throw first. Oh hell yeah.
because and I don't blame him because that's what put him in the position to not run now is because once you tell them knees like that, you got to learn that made him really learn the game of football as a quarterback. People can say what they want. I don't care if he don't do no bunch of running. That boy got an arm he ain't even got to run too much for real. And even he said he realized in the NFL he gonna have to run a little bit more. If you see an open lane, take it and slide. Don't try to be the hero. Shit. But I'm fucking with him. So
But I'm a fan. I'm finna buy a jersey.
because the way I look at it, right, every quarterback besides him and JJ McCartney had a
You see
chance to
microphone?
show up, had a chance to show out last year. Cause truthfully, what a lot of fans don't know, if somebody had to pick Penix, we'd have been getting JJ McCartney or Bo Nix. So we were getting the quarterback either way it went.
I'd rather have both. I don't like shit about JJ McCarthy.
No, I'm just saying from Arthur, what Arthur Blank said in his interview, he said he cleared the air. Yes, I'm mad at how the season went, but no, I'm not. He not mad about the quarterback shit because that was his decision. That wasn't Terry's decision. That wasn't Raheem's decision. That was Arthur Blank decision. He said he refused to go through another quarterback purgatory, and I don't blame him. I'd have did the same shit. Sit your ass down and shut the fuck up. We just paid you 180 million.
And we supposed to care about your feelings.
And we
Man,
still gonna give you your money riding the bench. So it's best for you to shut the fuck up and just sit down.
I'd be happy in the motherfucker to be a rich ass number two. But
And I
hey,
get it, you wanna play, but shit, bro, you fucked you up from not playing. Because if all he had to do was say put Penix in for about a couple games, I'll be ready. Let me rest this shoulder.
what if
And they'd have
Pennis balls
still
out
took
like them two
Penix, cause
games?
see, it's about respect. They'd have still took Penix back out and put Kirk back in.
And that would have been on the coaches, not on the quarterback, not on the players.
But see, the thing is, if you wanted to play again, you should have sat out when you knew you got hurt because Raheem was riding with you anyway. He,
Right.
he's a backup for a reason. Just put him in a game or two. Yeah, we just seen him throw that ball and been like, keep him in there. But you know, you'd have had more respect if you'd have went about it that way instead of lying about it.
My
See,
thing is, what the fuck you mean with Arthur Blank for?
Cause he tried to go over Terry and Raheem head.
That sound like some snake shit.
Because he probably went to Terry. Terry said, "Hell no, nigga, I done already put my job on the line for you. I don't
you
blame Terry. Hell no, go talk. All right, go talk to Arthur Blank yourself,
you
motherfucker."
just answered my question. I was fixing to ask. What did that move? How did that damage the relationship between Kirk Cousins and Raheem?
No, because Raheem, Raheem really probably wasn't even. He probably would just like go talk to Terry. You know how motherfucker pass the buck at your job.
I'm talking about the fact that you didn't come to me and say, hey man, my arm ain't no good. I need to sit out.
See, that's what I'm saying. You didn't do your coach no favor, so why the fuck should he do you one to get help you get traded? If you'd have did that and been hurt and came back in the season flopped, then that's a whole different topic. Cause at least you was honest about being hurt. And we still probably wouldn't have seen Penix this year if he'd have did that. I'm just being real.
You know, I think the fact that people really believe that throughout as it was happening with Kirk, you know, getting this injury in week 11 against the Skanks last year, the fact that people really believe that Raheem Morris just sat back and just ignored the fact that Kirk Cousins was showing signs of declining, whether it was due to injury or not. To me, it's a bit mind-boggling on whether or not you really believe that, or if you just want to believe that because you want to
Man, they
have
just want to be
a
mad,
you just
Blackberry.
want a reason to be mad.
Because Blackberry, let me tell you something. If I'm your head coach, you just paid, just say you the owner, right? You just paid the man 180 million. Plus I vouch for Kirk Cousins. We can't forget that part. I brought Kirk Cousins to you, Blackberry,
Clean it
and
up.
you went and got him because you didn't want to go through another quarterback purgatory anyway. But your thing is, if I get Kirk, I still want another quarterback. And then I say, well, Mr. Blaine, we gonna go on and sit him down after the Saints game, and you done gave him. Well, Blackberry, we finna go on and sit him down. You be like, hell no, because sometimes it's just
That's
players have to play through certain stuff. It is what it is. Some players make it out the end of that play through it, and
And Kirk
some
has
don't.
always been one of them quarterbacks.
Yeah, he played through it. Yeah, I don't remember with minute man. Let me tell you something.
Puff Puff
Before,
Gill, King
God
Richie.
damn.
Puff Puff
Put that
Gill.
loud down. Put that loud down, dog.
God damn. No, cause before Kirk got injured, bro, y'all gotta remember that man was like 9-2, like something like that. That nigga was on a tear before he got hurt. He was kicking
6-3.
ass. He was kicking ass before he got hurt. Normally, Kirk go through. If you go back and watch any of his seasons as a starter or a backup, he lose by four games, possibly five. So they probably figured that was his quarterback slump. Let him work through it. Especially he ain't said nothing about being hurt because he got that goddamn Maverick Top Gun sitting behind his ass.
We had
I don't.
contract politics and we had draft politics on the same team on the same season.
That
I think what we more mad about, we pay rent and double back pay rent again. This nigga only threw one touchdown. That's the most upsetting part about that.
and you driving it around there where I'm about to go to, Jay Holler, because
Go ahead.
because we paid for a service, expecting it's like a catering service, right? You pay for the catering to take care of 100 seats, but when the catering got there, at the end of the night, when you tally everything up and you see what everybody ate, catering only took care of 50 people. Everybody else was scrapping for scraps.
And then at
Ended
the
up going,
end of it, they lie to you, Blackberry, and say, "Yeah, we brought enough food. They just ate it all."
yeah, there you go. The portions weren't given out like they were supposed to have been. Well, whose job is that? One. Two, I don't give a fuck. I paid for 100 seats. I only got 50. See,
and
with
and you done
with
made the
with off
payment so you
the
can't get no money back.
blank. But let me tell you why this. Let me tell you why off the blank don't give a fuck. Because off the blank seen it coming, which is why he
Yep.
wanted to be closely. involved. These are his words. I was closely involved with the draft process. I was closely involved with the signing of Kirk Cousins. While it was not my decision. It was not my decision final. It was the coaching staff and the personnel staff whose decision it was final.
And he said, and he signed the check.
But in the back
So
of their mind, they knew what Arthur Blank wanted. That's why he watched
bingo,
their ass closely.
bingo. Say,
They
hold on,
knew.
wait a minute. Wait, say it again. Say it again, King Richie. Say it again.
Regardless of what anybody think, them coaches knew what the fuck Arthur Blank wanted. And you got to think, if
Fucking
I do
go.
go against them and we have a losing season, I'm out the door. So let me just go
Hello.
on and get what the fuck you want. Yeah, I signed off on to go get Kirk Cousins. Hell yeah, go get Kirk Cousins.
Because I'm telling, and this is why he said I was very close. This is why he's stressing the word very when he say I was very close
Because
to the
think
draft
about it.
process and decision making because I've let them know what I want. It is
Because
why it is
think
why
about it, Blackberry though. If Kirk Cousins could have at least gave you the 2017 and 2018 Matt Ryan for 2 years, you'd have been good any fucking way. Cause now you got Penix coming from behind them any fucking way. Or Bo Nix or JJ McCartney, cause they looked at JJ too. A lot of people don't realize that, but they did. So they were gonna pick a quarterback, regardless of who y'all liked.
I got another one.
Truthfully.
I got another one. If let's say Kirk Cousins do play his ass out like 2 seasons, right? We might not be in a situation like this again to draft a quarterback if we think we gonna do what we
That's
gonna
what
do.
they were looking at. That's what Raheem said, and everybody got mad at him like they don't know Kirk Cousins be having the possible. Normally, Kirk Cousins is good for 11 games. I'm just being real. Good 11. 11 been his number damn near every year he done played. So they figured after the Saints game, that probably was just his 3 to 4 game slump
Kirk
until they
Tober.
realized that, nah, this nigga hurt for real. And he ain't telling us. He probably still didn't tell them when they took him out. Come on, bro. That's why they were pissed off at him. Notice you ain't hear nothing from the Falcons after that Super Bowl when he went on that interview.
what's up with you,
Hey,
soldier?
hey, man, I can't call it, man. What's up, man? I seen the Kirk convo was up here. Look, man, I just would like to piggyback out Sunday that homie was just saying, right? And I'm on film on OG show talking about this, right? When we first got leaked that we was looking at picking up fucking Kirk Cousins, I said, man, fuck no. Everybody was pulling meat, talking about how good he was and all this yada yada yada. And I just pointed to one thing. And this is how you know that the NFL really be listening to us Falcon fans and shit, right? Because I said one thing, I pointed to it. It stands out. His prime time record, trash. And then what the league do, because they betted against him, what they turn around and do, Blackberry? They gave us fucking 8, 9 fucking prime
We
time
ain't never
games.
had that many prime time
He
games.
They
won
turned
Hell
too,
around
nah.
and
and he won
bro,
all but one of them.
listen, listen, yeah, but that shit was a fluke because the real him showed up and he went a fucking whole month. If I ain't mistaken, he went my fucking
No,
birthday month
it was
and ain't
the
throw a
real him
fucking
was there all
touchdown.
along, soldier. This who he always been. He always been that. He always been a guy
That's
that can
normal.
get hot.
So
He always
so
been
It's
a guy
normal
that
Kirk
gonna get
Cousins.
cold.
It's
He
normal
but
always
Kirk
listen,
Cousins.
but
it,
listen,
it,
and that furthermore drive my point though. Why the fuck would you go out and pay that nigga $100 million fucking dollars and then turn around and go get a fucking quarterback? That shit is stupid. I
A
would have
hundred
paid.
smoke
million
Listen,
screen.
dollars.
listen,
That
hold
ain't
on, let me
shit.
finish. Listen, I don't give a man. Yes, the fuck it is when you coming out of cap hell, bro. Every
We only
dollar
paying
count,
that
nigga.
nigga for 2 years.
Listen,
It's
listen,
quarterbacks.
listen,
He not even a top
listen.
10 paid
Him, bro.
quarterback though.
Listen, Kirk Cousins ain't worth a fucking $100 million coming out of college, sitting behind fucking RG3. Some would say his best years the first time when he popped up talking about something like that. He ain't been worth a fucking $100 in his career. You add up his whole fucking career, he ain't worth $100 million.
Let me ask
Shit,
you a
he
I'm
made
question.
more
just
than
keeping
that.
it.
Let me
That ain't
ask
Listen
what
you a
what
his
I'm saying.
con.
question.
That ain't what his
Li-
contract say, soldier.
Yeah,
Man,
His
listen what I'm
contract say
saying.
he worth.
Listen what I'm saying. But that's like a nigga laying in the hotel room out of town with a hard man's in his pants. If I jump on Backpage and I find some yams out there and she say she want $250 for it, nigga, I'm gonna pay for it because it's the best I could get right now.
I got a
But
question.
if I had it my way, nigga, I ain't paying that. And that's why I look at everybody who was at the top like they fucking crazy, bro. Like you lowball him or you go another year with Ritter, the, the
Oh,
worst thing
Arthur Blank already said Ritter was out the door. He said
listen what
that
I'm saying.
himself.
But listen what I'm saying. You save $100 million and you play Ritter, you get the same fucking result that you got with the $100 million quarterback, and you still go draft the fucking quarterback anyways. Whether Ritter
Man,
goes fucking
this shit's
undefeated,
crazy.
whether Ritter go undefeated and take us to the fucking Super Bowl, we're not keeping him any fucking ways. Get rid of him and go and draft the fucking quarterback. And you save $100 million and you could really build your fucking team. We wouldn't be having to look at bargain basement players like the nigga Simmons. We wouldn't be having to go and look at niggas like Judon or keep niggas who is overrated as fuck like Carter who went from 9 to 0.
Let me ask
Like
something,
nigga,
soldier.
this
Let
frees
me
Man,
up
ask
can I?
something.
so much bread.
Let me
All
slow
right,
you
finna go.
down, soldier, because I
All
can
right,
tell
finna
when
go.
it's I can tell when you about to go off that damn cliff. So
Yeah,
before
I
you
think he
do,
jumped off already.
Yeah, he out
so
there.
He
before
jumped
you
off.
jump off this damn cliff, right now you hanging off that motherfucker. But let me ask you this question: do you think, based off of current events, do you think that the organization itself, as a whole, has learned from the lessons that you're talking about right now, and that they've made attempts to right wrongs and to make better choices and to act sooner on things now based off current events?
I'm gonna say I'm impartial to that because when I go back and I look at the first couple years of this GM that we had, it reminded me of Thomas fucking Dimitrov. Look at all the dumb shit that Thomas Dimitrov did. He hit with niggas like Julio, Matt Ryan, bringing in motherfuckers like Turner and yeah, you hit Roddy White and bringing in players and shit. But at the same time, like, bro, that shit is setting us back. Like, imagine what we would have been had we not have traded everything away and got Julio. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like we was looking at offense. Like, it was just stale. Like, it was the same old circus. Like, man, fuck a new nigga in the same fucking seat, and he's delivering the same fucking results, bro. When if we'd have did it my way, bro, this would have been a 2-year fix. Honestly, I would have never drafted Pitts. I would have drafted Sewell, that right tackle. I would have drafted him. The next year, I would have not took Drake. I would have took George Calafardis or whatever his name was. I would have built my defense. That way, Grady could have schooled them young boys and brought them up quicker. You get what I'm saying? Injecting new blood into it. What's been the Atlanta Falcons' problem on the defense since Kearney left and all them boys? Our front four fucking sucks. We can get there,
So,
but we can't fucking tackle
Can
nobody.
I ask the question?
soldier,
I want to ask.
go ahead, cause you kind of you really didn't answer. Well,
Why
you kind of
people so
answered my question, but
infatuated?
go ahead.
Why are some people infatuated to replace a right tackle? Caleb McGray ain't been playing bad, so I don't know why people constantly keep saying that shit. Drake London won a bad pickup. We didn't have a fucking wide receiver after Calvin Ridley and them fucking approved. We ain't had no receivers, big homie. And we were gonna fix our damn defense up in the free agency and through the draft. In the last past
Julio,
2 seasons, we've been draft heavy on the defense. Right or wrong?
yeah, listen what I'm saying, but it's like now that it's too late. Like what I'm saying is this, right? If you
Mm.
go back and if we take Sewell, we can extend Matt Ryan's career for another year or 2 years, bro. That gives Ritter time to grow. Matt Ryan can teach him and coach him. Let Matt Ryan play for another 2 years. You fix your defense. We can get pressure, create turnovers, get Matt Ryan the ball more. Matt Ryan leave, we already got a new tackle. If Ritter pans out in year 3, 4, then we keep him. If he sucks, then we're back in there looking for a quarterback. But the rest of the team is already there. In
Okay,
the
but
meantime, in
now we talking
between
about
time,
pipe
you
dreams,
can
soldier. Hold on, I got to stop you again, goddammit. I
Thank you.
want y'all motherfuckers to stay on fucking topic. We ain't talking about shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That's what we talking about. What we talking about is whether or not what you got in front of you is enough for you. That's the question for that's my question to you, soldier. Is what in front of you enough for you to get behind? That's the
developing
question I
right
got to you.
as we developing right now, I'm gonna say we still a work in progress because we always got big names or we bring in big names or draft motherfuckers and we be expecting a lot, like, and when it don't come to fruition, we ready to kick everybody the fuck out of here. I ain't gonna lie. I've been like that, and you know Blackberry, bro. I bet
I know it.
thousands, tens of thousands, bro.
You
I done
go, you
lost
got cliffs around you
six
that you
figures,
tend to jump the fuck off. I know.
bro. I done lost 6 figures in the last 5 years
And I
betting on
told
them
you to
two
stop
motherfuckers.
telling people that goddamn shit. Don't you
Like,
tell nobody else that shit neither.
I done
like,
And
heard
you
you
keep
tell that
that
like,
nigga
shit to
that
your
so many
motherfucking
damn
self.
times. I done heard you tell him that
like,
shit so many
like,
times concerning that
bro, like
information.
that's like, bro, like I'm a Falcons fan for real, bro. Like I don't, I put my money where my mouth is. Like I ain't just one of them. Like you get what I'm saying? Like
Well, don't you think that's what Arthur Blank and the organization is doing?
fuck
Putting
no.
their money where their mouth is?
I'm
If
trying to see
they
how is it
telling you
too
they
late.
don't want no quarterback situation like they done had after the Matt Ryan trade, they telling you they don't want to go through that shit no more. Ain't that ain't that 100 million guaranteed them putting their money where their mouth at? Ain't them drafting Michael Penix in the first round in that same year? Ain't that them putting their money where their mouth at?
Kept the money and did more with it. That's like asking, would you rather buy a $100 million business that only make you 20 grand a year, or would you rather build you a $100 million business that make 50,000 a year? I'd rather keep the money and just work harder and see my shit pay off in the end.
Do you
Like
want to know? Do you want to know? You want to know a word that don't exist in business, but people say it all the time?
Guarantee.
No,
yeah,
potential. Potential is a word very used very often in business. What are your potential earnings? What is your potential gross? What is your potential net income? The word potential is used a lot in language when it comes to business, but it ain't got no damn business being a part of business. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get paid based off of what?
what you produce,
What you
what
produced,
what the fuck you do, yeah.
what you've
And that's
already done.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why when you ask me the question, like, that's why I say, man, I ain't convinced yet, man. Like, I gotta see,
And
because we
that's why I said
always
that
get
too,
big
soldier.
names and shit, and
But
it
soldier,
don't
that's
work.
why I said that. Because while you do go off deep ends, because you do, I understand where it come from. Because in my opinion, that's the general fan base anyway. Oh, this what? Oh, the Falcons. Oh, they ain't been about shit last year. Okay, well, y'all call me when they about some shit. Then that's the general Falcon fan base. What have you done for me lately that I can get behind? Now, see those of us. That's why I asked you that question earlier. Is what you have in front of you now enough for you to get behind? Because the general fan base is like, nah, when I turn on the TV and I see they winning, I'll get behind that.
Nah, but see, I don't do
But no,
that.
but
I
no,
ain't
it's
one of
nothing
them.
wrong with that. But it's nothing wrong with that, soldier. And I know
Nah,
that
it is.
you pay more, you pay closer attention. I'm just using you for an example. But I
Yeah,
know
nah, I get it.
you pay closer attention than the general fan base. So I'm not saying that you are the general fan base. But this is the reason why I'm saying this. It's because content creators in the media, they're fixated on their, whether they like to admit it or not, they're fixated on their opinion about something. And when they go out on a limb to have a hot take or to have an opinion, and they go out on that limb and they want it to be voiced, they want it to be heard. See, now they got to make sure that you remember that, and that they got to look for every ounce of evidence to plead their case. So when I turn on the TV today and I see that something that we covered months ago about Kirk Cousins uh being feeling like he was misled by the Falcons, and his decision could have been altered due to the information that he could have gotten about them drafting a quarterback in the first round. In my opinion, not just any quarterback, but the quarterback that they drafted, Michael Penix Jr. in particular,
Was
because
his
he know about
replacement.
that boy, and he know that boy the real deal, that he would have maybe had stayed in Minnesota. He loved it in Minnesota, in his words. And if Minnesota and the Falcons were going to draft a quarterback, these are his words. If Minnesota and the Falcons were going to draft a quarterback in the first round, he maybe had stayed in Minnesota.
Look, and I feel him, and that goes back to the point that I was making earlier. So why the fuck would you pay him $100 million? I'd have paid him like I'd have told him like, look,
Because they putting
we
their
gonna have
money
to
where their
get
mouth is.
man, yeah, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, but you not worth this money that you asking for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work with you. I'm gonna get as close to a buck as I can. I'll give you like 75, and I'll give you some more in incentives. I'll get the 85 for you and make you comfy because at the end of the day you could retire. Like you get what I'm saying? Like, but I'm making it know, my nigga. Like I'm getting a quarterback. Like that's why I wouldn't have paid 100. Like I'm just looking at it like, cause you tell me, all right, look, I'm the owner, right? You come to me, yo, look, man, I got $100 million, man. I got a quarterback. Yeah, who is he, bro? Kirk Cousins. I'm like, all right, and this is the way I'm thinking. Like, yo, all right, cool. That's who you want to put your claim on. All right, cool. Then we shouldn't need to draft a quarterback in the first round. Because if we need to draft a quarterback in the first round, why the fuck am I signing $100 million check to this motherfucker? You gotta justify that. Yeah, because we needed a quarterback, period. But we're drafting one in the fucking
Okay,
first round, so we're
next
gonna have a
question.
quarterback
Next question
anyway.
then, soldier. Next question for you. Hold on, Jay. Let me ask soldier one question. Tell me how, well, it ain't really a question. Tell me how signing Kirk Cousins to $100 million guarantee. Tell me how that's done hurt us.
Cause we just coming out of cap hell, bro. We just had
Nope,
the
been out of
mortgage.
cap hell for
Listen,
2 seasons
listen,
now.
listen what
Try
I'm
again.
saying.
Try
Listen,
again.
because we're paying $100 million to a motherfucker up front. This is guaranteed. That means I can't get out of paying you this. I gotta back that Brinks truck up. When your name hit that dotted line, bro, like we just coming out of cap hell, bro. Our roster been fucked up for 4 or 5
Been out of cap
years
hell
because we've been in
for
cap
over
hell.
2 years now. Try again. Nope.
Listen what I'm saying. I'm not trying. I ain't in no rush to go the fuck back. Listen what I'm saying. We just coming out. I just look. That's like being broke for 5 years, bro. And then you get $100,000 and you go and buy $100,000 Lambo. You fucking idiot. You're gonna be broke again tomorrow morning.
I got a question. I got a question.
Go ahead, Jay.
Uh,
Let me make 200 and then I'll buy the 100 Lambo. 100. thousand Lambo.
To be honest, who was a better option than Kirk Cousins at that time?
For the same record that we got at the end of the season, we could have
Nah,
kept fucking
I ain't
Ritter.
asked for the record. I ain't asked
Not
about the record.
hindsight.
At that
No,
Not
no,
time,
no,
hindsight.
no.
no, no,
This
no,
Not
not
no, no, no,
hindsight.
no,
this
no,
not
no, no, no,
listen,
no, no,
this
no.
not hindsight. This
Yes, it
complete body
is.
of work.
Yes, it is. No, no, no,
This
no,
is
no, no.
complete body of work.
A complete body of work is what we paid Kirk Cousins for, my guy. Damn the free agents, we paid you for what you did.
And to get the same record that a third year player without a quarterback coach, with an incompetent head coach and a dumbass offensive coordinator, to get the same exact record for $100 million, bro. That's a fucking L. You got to justify that. How can you justify that? When you
Yeah.
come back with the same 7-10 record, nigga, justify that.
Okay, since you making hypotheticals, I'm finna ask
No,
a
this ain't
hypothetical.
a hypothetical. This is what
If
happened, bro.
if
We
Kirk
came
Cousins
back
would
with
have
a 7
panned
and
out,
10
if
record.
Kirk Cousins would have panned out, niggas wouldn't even be tripping out that 100 million.
If my mama had a dick, she'd be my dad. We're not talking
What's
about
up, man?
this. This is what
That
actually
goddamn boy right
happened, bro.
there stupid.
We came back with a 7-10 record, bro.
We want an
The
extra man,
same
my guy.
record that Ritter had, bro. Only difference is, my nigga, we paid $100 million for that shit.
Bro, it's
That's
cap. It's
guaranteed.
cap. It
I
goes
don't
up
give a.
every year.
I don't care what it is, bro. It's $100 million guaranteed. You can say it's cap, but nigga, when I'm backing the Brinks truck up to a nigga house, it's the owner cutting the check. My nigga, that's $100 million. Nigga, I could have bought yams. I could have bought 10 cars. I could have bought a house. I could have put my bitch in some diamonds. Nigga, I could have
But
bought real estate. I
but
could
you
have bought.
ain't but you ain't said how it done hurt us. That's what I'm waiting on. How has it hurt the team?
Did we turn in a playoff or a winning season? Did you get an L or a W for your money?
Can you be more specific on how it's hurt the Falcons?
It hurt the Falcons because last year we had a chance to make the playoffs, right? If that $100 million quarterback who you paid produce at any fucking time during the whole month and a half, we could have made the fucking playoffs.
Okay,
That's how it
how?
hurt the Atlanta Falcons.
How?
How?
How with the 100 million? How? How with that $100 million? Tell us how it would
That
have
hundred
altered.
million, that
Tell me
hundred
how
million
it would have
dollars,
altered our result from 2024.
because of your quarterback. If your
And
quarterback
it was
throws,
90
listen,
million, not 100. It was
if
90.
listen, if your quarterback throws fucking 10 touchdowns and 2 picks for a month and a half, my nigga, you're a playoff team, a potential number 3 seed, number 3, maybe number 2 seed. Fuck, we definitely win the NFC South. That's the $100 million quarterback. You paid that quarterback $100 million and turned in a fucking losing season.
Let me
So you
ask you
And
this.
now
blaming the
you
whole
can't
season on
justify.
Kirk Cousins?
No, I'm not blaming the whole thing on him. And I said, if you during that stretch for a month and a half, if I ain't mistaken, it was the month of November, my birthday month. This
Okay.
motherfucker went and threw 2 touchdowns and 10 fucking picks.
Do you think that
And
if they would
during
have
that
been,
stretch, hold
let
on,
me
hear
ask
me
you
out.
this.
And during that 6 game stretch, it blew our chances of making the playoff.
Do
That's what
you
you got
think
for $100 million.
if he would have been benched after the third loss and Michael Penix would have took over after the third loss, do you think, do you think that we still would have won this division and made the
Listen,
playoff?
listen, I feel like if we'd have benched Kirk as soon as he started showing signs of regression, like he was getting old and shit, like you said, that second game, we benching, nigga, we outright win the NFC South and we are contending for the NFC in the playoffs, bro.
with
Like,
Michael Penix, right?
yes.
Man,
So
hell
what that $100 million got to do with that?
no. Nothing.
Who did you play instead of playing that rookie quarterback? You
That
played the
goddamn.
hundred.
No, no,
Listen,
no. The,
you
the
played the
question
hundred
was,
million dollar. Listen,
how did that
and
100
like what
million
Ricky Smith.
hinder us? That was the question. How did that
Because
100 million hinder us?
who did you pay the 100 million to?
Kirk
Let's
Cousins.
just start. All right. So did is Kirk Cousins during that 6 game stretch when we
Okay.
already damn near when we was in first place of the division and we went on that fucking losing streak?
Mm-hmm.
Who did you pay that $100 million to, and who played in them games?
Kirk Cousins, who we
All
paid
right.
$100 million to in October.
Did you pay Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, we paid Kirk Cousins the same month we paid him in October. We paid him that 100 million in December. So don't act like it wasn't no good in that 100 million, my guy. It was some good in it.
Yeah, it was seven
Okay,
games.
okay.
Listen, it
He
was
had.
seven
Hold on
games
now.
of good, but for that $100 million, my nigga, if I'm paying $100 million, I'm not willing to look at no fucking 7-10 record at the end of the season. And you sitting up here justifying mediocrity. You're sitting up here justifying
Who was
spending
a
a hundred
better
dollars,
option,
a
my
hundred
guy?
million.
Who was a better option at that point?
Just listen what you saying, bro. You sitting here justifying spending $100 million on a quarterback, and the same
Mm-hmm.
quarterback who you spent $100 million on go fucking uh 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 go 2 and 10
Quarterback.
interceptions and drop you from first place in your division and a potential number 2, number 3 seed in the playoffs.
Let me
That's what
get.
it costs
Let,
you.
I'm
let me
not
give
putting
you.
that.
Let me give
Okay.
you. Let me
And you
give you
turned
a.
in the same record that the
Hold on,
before
Soldier.
him did,
Hold
that you
on,
paid
Soldier.
nothing.
Hold on. Listen. I'm gonna give you a very probable and possible scenario that could occur in this 2025 season. Knocking on wood, per an injury that takes out Michael Penix Jr. Let's say this happened later in the season, in the latter of the season. We already playoff bound. We know we going to the playoffs. It's a sure thing. Michael Penix got to sit down a few games. He ain't completely out of it, but he gonna miss a few games, maybe 4. But that carries over into the playoffs. You got Kirk Cousins sitting on the bench. Kirk Cousins goes and gives you a he goes and gives you a what's the dude that won the goddamn championship for the Eagles off the bench?
Nick Foles.
He goes and give you a Nick Foles type uh fucking 4 game. Puts you either in the Super Bowl or wins you a Super Bowl. You gonna be mad about that $100 million?
Hell no. He wasn't mad in October. Shit.
No,
The fuck? He wasn't mad in
nah.
October.
Look, hey, look. That's a dilemma though, cause now,
But that's a
just look.
very possible and
Listen,
probable situation that we looking
listen.
at.
But listen, what I'm saying. I don't feel comfortable paying no, bro. I wouldn't give a fuck if it was Michael Vick, Tom Brady, fucking John Elway and Dan Marino on the fucking bench, bro. I don't feel comfortable paying none of them niggas $100 million.
Man, that 100 million ain't finna fix shit.
Listen. I get it. It's and at the end, it's probably not going to affect shit. But no, bro. Like
Come on now.
I'm just
This is a
looking
good
at it,
question.
bro,
Shit.
as a fan
This is
who
a good question,
experienced
Soldier.
Cap Hill.
It was a gamble if he wouldn't have got hurt and pulled. How many more, if he hadn't have got hurt and pulled, how many more games y'all think Kurt would have won had he played all season?
Shit.
I want
Like you
Soldier to
said, we'd have
answer
been a
first.
wild card team.
You don't answer, Jay. Let Soldier answer
Okay.
first.
Hold on, man. If Kurt wouldn't have got hurt, how many games? Uh, it would
How
have
many more
been
games you think we win if he don't get hurt and play all season?
who? Kurt?
Yes.
Oh shit. 7.
7 more
We would.
games?
No. We win 7 games if he get hurt, and Kirk got to play the whole fucking season.
No,
If
if he
Kirk
don't get
didn't
hurt.
get hurt,
If he did not get hurt, that's the question. If he doesn't get hurt and plays the rest of the season, how many more games you think they win?
Maybe one, 1.5.
wow.
Kirk Cousins, if he don't get hurt, yeah, bro, like 1.5, 2. Penix, like I didn't see it, bro. And let me give you your flowers, Blackberry, because you said I heard it from you first, bro. You believed in the boy Penix. You and a couple other folks. So let me
I
get
did, yeah.
acknowledge that. I went back and I watched the film on that boy, man. I was completely wrong. You heard it here first, everybody, man. I'm a grown man. I'm 21, man. You was right, bro. I was wrong. Cause
I recall.
that young buck, he's a beast, yo. He's scary, yo.
He is.
Like I went back and I watched everybody's film on him as much as I could, and I could find, bro. That young yo, he's nice, and he's a lefty.
Right.
The NFL in trouble, yo. It's a new era, yo. We just gotta
You-
be able to get sets,
I believe you when you say that you think we only win maybe one more game. I believe you when you say that because I remember Soldier was never high on Kirk Cousins. Never. Even when we were 6-3, he was still talking cab money shit about Kirk
bro.
Cousins.
On God,
So I believe him when he say that. But so I think your answer is authentic. But this is why I don't think you even believe that. I think you saying it because that's what you know you'll say, but I don't think you believe it.
bro.
Want to know why?
Why you say that,
Because you bet a butt shit of money on him, just like
bro?
you always do.
Bro, I did that shit when we had Joey Galloway as our fucking
No, no,
quarterback.
no, 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 no.
Right, when we had
No, no.
Redman and fucking what's the
You don't bet
Byron
that kind of
Leftwich.
damn money if you don't think that they gonna make some damn noise.
Listen, I bet it 5 this year. You told me not to bet, but I bet it 5 grand this year. I ain't bet 10, but I bet it 5.
Y'all, Soldier, that my boy. I've been telling him for years. Stop putting all that
Quit betting on
goddamn
him,
money
man.
on these damn Falcons. But he gonna keep doing it, and he gonna keep announcing it too. But much like a lot of the fan base, Soldier, he 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 wants to see it all being everything that's being put together. He want to see it come into effect before he makes a legitimate decision on how he gonna get behind it. And I understand it. I understand it because that's the general fan base and how they and I know he's a deeper thinker than that, but it's also about the sentimentalness of it. If I done seen the same, if I've seen something progress or the lack thereof over so many years, just because I want to see it flourish and thrive, don't mean I'm gonna be gullible enough to think that something's gonna change when nothing's changed in 60 years. Build me up to let me down. Y'all know that old song? Pick me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging like a yo-yo. Build me up just to let me down. That's what our Falcons have done for 60 years. I put up happy birthday Falcons at the beginning of these videos, not in a celebratory fashion. I'm not thinking about it in a celebratory sense. I'm thinking about it in a what you gonna do? 60 years. What you gonna do? You gonna make bread? You gonna mildew? What you gonna do? We got Raheem Morris as our head coach, whether we like it or not. but we still got content creators that want to make sure that they make you understand that you should be uh, disappointed in Raheem Morris than you should be focusing on what you have in front of you. And while I asked that question earlier, do anybody know the word in business that don't belong in business, but is used very commonly, and that's potential. See, right now we sitting at the bank we sitting in the seat waiting on the accountant to come back to the
Look,
to the desk to let us know whether or not we've been approved. You know how you submit all your information, you give all your information, you submit all your documents, they input all the information, and they tell you they're gonna go have a talk with the branch manager. Because the information that's been submitted in the third party, they've done their due diligence and they've sent back their reports on letting the branch know what they should do with your loan application. But ultimately, it's up to who? The branch manager. So you sitting there, they done asked all these questions. You feeling good about it because you get to answer certain, questions like your gross earnings. You feel good about that when you feel good about the work you done and the position that you've acquired. You feel good about being able to answer questions like proof of residency. You done lived in the same place for 10 years. You know that that's not gonna stop you from getting a loan.
don't give me one of
You've
them.
been on your job a long time. You know that's not gonna stop you from getting it. This is where we at right now as an organization. We sitting in that goddamn chair, feeling real good about the information that we've given, hoping and praying that when he come back, he gonna give us a yes. And funds are going to be administered into our account same day and will be available to us the next business day. That's what we waiting on right now. But over time, over the course of history, this was Soldier. Soldier, that motherfucker that's out there sitting on the goddamn bench waiting to see an accountant too. But see, Soldier ain't trying to get no loan. Soldier trying to figure out how he can empty out his goddamn account and close his motherfucking account before it's too late. Before this branch go down in the goddamn dumps. Before they shut this bank down, I need to withdraw all my funds and close my account. But he watching the rest of us sitting in the goddamn seat waiting to see if we get this loan. See, we used to that accountant coming back and saying, unfortunately, we're not going to be
We
able
can't.
to approve you today. Your residential history look good. Your income looks good. You got good um you got
Credit,
good references. You got good credit.
posted revenue, no debt.
Everything looks good, but it's always gonna be that one thing. It's always gonna be that one thing. Yeah, your credit looks great, but you missed a car note payment a couple months ago. What's that about? What? That's gonna stop me from getting this loan? I was in the hospital. I couldn't pay it because I just came out brain surgery. I was in a fucking coma for 2 months. Nobody knows how to get into my account to pay my bill. I couldn't pay it until I could get my wits about myself. Yeah, I understand, Mr. Tillman, but
We still holding that shit against you.
we're going to ask you to apply again in 6 months.
And yep, 120 days. Yo, you funny as hell, yo. That's exactly what the motherfucker be saying.
That's been this motherfucking team for 60 years. Everything look good on paper, but when it's time to get approved, coming up
The
short.
motherfuckers always fold.
Somebody in the back.
Now, most of the times though, like I look at it in eras, like the Ryan era. That's the pinnacle of Falcons. in our 60-year history. Let that shit sink in. That was only what 16 years. If we'd have got that man a solid defense at any point during those 16 years, man, then we could have went on a three-peat. We probably could have went on two of them. From '08 to 11, from 13 to 16, thought we could have went on a three-peat and potentially a seventh in 17. Because I think we went back to the playoffs and we lost that Philly or some shit. Like, it's so much wasted talent we done had on this team. Like, bro, I'm just tired of being the fucking butt of the jokes, bro. You gotta understand, bro. I live in fucking Pittsburgh, bro. You know how fucking hard it is to be a Falcon fan here, yeah?
Man, you ain't by
These
your subject,
motherfuckers.
dog.
Listen,
I mean,
listen. I'm talking about PA, bro.
bro, you ain't
Listen what
by.
I'm saying. Listen, it ain't shit, bro. All these motherfuckers know is championships, bro. I can't even talk shit, bro.
Feel your pain, big homie.
Like this shit is real, bro. Like motherfuckers be, and then I be seeing on YouTube little ads and commercials and shit. They be having motherfuckers. They be having us on commercials getting dogged out dirty and shit. They'll have an interview with Tom Brady, and the one highlight they'll have in the fucking joint, guess who it's against? Us. Like, come on, man. Like,
Nah,
y'all niggas not tired of this gay ass shit, bro. I mean, screw my friend, bro, but y'all not tired of this shit, bro. Y'all niggas not tired of being the fucking butt of the jokes, bro. Like, I seen the Hyundai commercial, bro. They put Freeman on there, bro, getting did dirty. Like, bro, what? Like, y'all not tired of this fucking shit, bro. Like, I'm just
What you
tired of
got
looking
on the street,
good
Daddy?
on paper, bro.
You there, Three Daddy?
yo,
What you got on? What you got on this, man? We're gonna start wrapping this up. Do you have enough in front of you? I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Soldier and Jay Holland. Do you have enough in
yes we
front of
do.
you to get behind?
The
We
pieces are
can't hear
being
you.
put in place,
Okay, I
and we're
see. We
setting
hear
it
you now.
up for production. Production start when they start camp. But what we got right now, I'm very optimistic about the future for this future season for this team. Um, that's just what it is with me. Um, and then once we get down to the, start making the cuts, and that'll kind of tell me um, where the coaches are headed. Are they on the same page or are they not? Based off of what the cuts and all of that they're going to make, and then I'll be able to talk outside of this box. But right now, the answer to your question is, oh, I'm very optimistic. They made good moves. It started last season, last draft, and they doubled down this time, but they did it on defense, and that's it for me.
I I tell you what could change my mind though.
Okay.
And we go out this year, and I mean we play hard, bro. I'm talking about roughing the fucking quarterback penalties, offsides, and tackling the shit out of him, unnecessary roughness. Like, show me we got some nuts, bro. Like, I don't care about the penalty. I'd rather us take the penalty because we, after the play, hit the damn quarterback and folded his ass up. Like, to take out some stress because we've been going 10 years with just getting there and not being able to hit the motherfucker. I wouldn't give a fuck if we got fined $200,000 in penalties for excessive roughness this year. Show me we got some fucking nuts, bro. Specifically out that fucking D line, yo. I'm like, this has been our problem since fucking Patrick Kearney, bro. Like, the real Falcon fans, bro, let that shit sink in, bro. It's been 20 fucking years, bro, without a pass rush. Like, come on, man. Like
All right.
we
So as we as we conclude today's fan speak, I'm gonna go around the horn. I'm gonna ask everybody to get a final takes, and then I'm gonna end y'all with a little soliloquy. Jay Holland, give your final
Yo,
point for the day.
shit, I just want us to compete. That's it. Fuck Kirk. Hold that fucking clipboard. That's it.
Go ahead, Soldier.
man take the fucking NFC South. Last year was our chance. We blew it, but I don't see enough in front of us. But yeah, I would like to see about 6 games in, see where we get like, because the improvement I'm looking for is in the coaching. It ain't so much as the roster. It's more so in the coaching. Can the coach stand up? Do we got some? But I'd rather Mike Smith type. Like you did, like you said, man. Let's compete, win the South, man. Everybody in our division bad. This shit is ours for the taking, yo. Let's execute, execute, execute.
All right. How about the 3 Dirty?
All right. Now let me come in from a different angle. And Soldier Boy, he kind of on the same page, but I'm in it a little different. My PSLs have been paid for the season, so that's the money I got in it, other than travel.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna and not
You
gonna
cut out,
have
Dirty.
nothing. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna call out the coaches or the players until the bye. And I'm glad that we got an early bye this year. By that, what, the 5th week? After the 5th week, we should know what we got.
Yo,
And that's
I ain't
where
even
I'm gonna,
seen our schedule yet.
yeah. But if you go and look, see, I look at it from a business standpoint also, because I was in the corporate world for 35 years, and now I'm a business owner, been in the business owner for quite a few years too. So you got to look ahead to where you can look at and balance your books. And I'm gonna balance these books the 5th week of the season, and I'll make my comment. Um, if we are where we need to be, what changes we need to make, if any, or are we doing well with the process that I'm trusting in right now? So that's where I'm at right now.
All right. Georgia Texas boy came back through for a minute. Give him some final takes before we bounce Georgia Texas boy.
Hey man, this is how I look at it. If everybody just get out their feelings about how they feel about somebody, about the identity politics, and just look at what's been put together.
Right.
They are trying to build a winner in Atlanta. We are doing the same thing that Houston did. We're doing the same thing that Buffalo did when they got Josh Allen. Did the same thing that the Chiefs did when they got Patrick Mahomes. Like, we done seen it happen before. People just, we ain't seen it happen in Atlanta since 2008. And we actually building a complete team. We ain't just focused on one side of the ball. That's why I keep saying Raheem Morris is picking up where he left off. I'm finna work on both sides of the ball. Think about it. In one offseason, we needed a quarterback and an edge rusher. We got multiple edges and a quarterback of the future in one offseason.
Facts.
Like, the future bright for this team. Everybody wanted Jimmy Lake gone. He gone. The still water, the puddle is gone. The pond is gone. We got motion now with Aubrey. We got a whole tidal wave coming. We ain't worried about still water no more. We ain't worried about standing water no more. The tide has turned. We gotta let the past be the past.
Hey, yo, I would just like to say here first, because I just looked at the schedule. I got us 14-2 or 13-3. I ain't even see the schedule. I bet it in the blind too.
Man, I made my sports books over the weekend. I got the Falcons winning 13 plus games.
I got us losing to the Rams, to the Bills. We're gonna blow the fuck out of the 49ers.
I got our floor is 10, our ceiling 13.
Bro, I got us 14-2, 13-3, because we might
Now,
get
soldier,
split
I'm gonna
with the
remember you
Succaneers.
said this shit. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm,
bro.
I'm gonna remember this shit. So,
14-2, 13-3. I'm saying it
but
right
you
here. It's
you you just
432
went on a
on
whole
the 8th.
goddamn. You just jumped off a motherfucking cliff earlier. Now
Listen, that's if Penix stay healthy.
you got us winning damn near every motherfucking game.
Listen, that's if Penix stay healthy though. That's a condition.
Okay,
That's if Penix stay healthy.
just know I'm gonna remember this shit. I ain't gonna let you
Yeah.
forget neither.
Look, let me caveat this as well. Like that's if Penix stay healthy, bro. I got us 14-2, 13-3.
All right. So I started this live off saying that Kirk Cousins being quoted in the media right now for words he said months ago, many months ago, during the 2024 season when this second season of this Netflix series was being recorded. I started this live off by saying that, or by asking the question, is this meant to be a distraction from what this team is putting in front of you now? And how there are unintentional allies to this narrative being driven in our content creating community and in the media. And that is why it's being put out by the media, because they know that it's going to be a distraction to what we've already gotten excited about, that this team done put in that this team has put in front of you. Soldier just got finished going off a motherfucking cliff about the misdealings of the Kirk Cousins contract, and us asking him, hold on. My bad, game yard instructions.
Dang, Blackberry, you out here doing a 3 hour show?
Yep, that's what it looked like, but we about to end this shit. I wanted to give a little soliloquy, but I'm gonna just say this, 'cause I don't know how much noise in the background here. So I'm gonna just say this. If we can't understand the motives of the media, or better yet, I'm not even gonna say that, because you know what? Y'all just give me a minute. Let me bag up real quick. Give me a minute. Hold on 1 minute. I'm gonna get this a little bit, goddamn. Y'all hold tight for this. All right. Y'all check this out. Y'all check this out. If we know the media has motives because they want to turn back the dial, right now, lately, they done turned up the dial on getting behind the Atlanta Falcons and what they're doing as an organization. They turned that dial up on that, right? But now they want to turn it back. If we know that they have those motives, because they've had those motives against Atlanta teams for many, many, many years. As a content creator, I will not feed into it, and I will call bullshit when I see it. But the only way I'm able to do that is if I don't myself have an interior motive to try to get the fan base to side with me on how I'm on my outlook of an individual. Like Georgia Texas boy said so eloquently. Oh, did I say eloquently right? Eloquently. So eloquently. The
Yeah, it was
identity
good.
politicking. And that's a phrase Georgia Texas boy done came up with that I like. And it describes it at its best. The identity politicking that's being done by some content creators to want you to see things their way about Raheem Morris so bad that we ignore what he's actually doing as the head coach of this team. That's positive. We feeding into that motive. We feeding into that media-driven motive to be the, the customer sitting in the banking seat, waiting on the accountant to come back to tell you, unfortunately, everything look good on paper, but unfortunately, you're going to come up short again because of this. We got content creators out there that's feeding into that bullshit and helping drive that narrative. When if we're supposed to be fans and supportive of something, then we're supposed to take what's in front of us, analyze it correctly, and let the rest of the fan base know this is what you may look forward to. This is what we're doing as an organization. This is what we're doing as a franchise. This is why it looks good. This is something we can get behind. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how some of us others are looking at it.
Hey,
You look at
Blackberry.
it how you want, but that's how I'm gonna look at it. And at the end of the 2025 season, your boy Blakberry got a funny feeling that I'm gonna be standing there high on top of that mountain, saying "I told you so."
Hey, Blackberry. This is like an abusive relationship though, bro. So I can understand. I see. I see it from both ways, bro. Like it's like, man, every time, bro, you know how many fans we gained and lost the year that we won that Super Bowl, that we went to that Super Bowl? We gained fans here, bro. But those same fans we gained, we lost. So they wasn't fans to begin with. That's how I look at the 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 fence straddlers. I'm more so like, man, I got burnt too many times fucking with this. Like,
I
I'm
get it. I get
cautious,
it.
like,
But that's
but
why I
don't get it
explained
fucked
earlier.
up.
I look at your position on it and I understand because that's why I understand the general fan base's position on it. But with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this on up. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Stay tuned for the promo video so you can know how to get entered into the raffle to win some free shit from your boy Blakberry. This been the home team with Blakberry, man. That's Blakberry, no C, just a K. Y'all catch us on the flip side, home team.